Hello and welcome to the Nerdic Gods podcast, episode 84. I am your host, Daniel. No Connor. He's got his leg amputated.
Yeah.
It's a horrible story. Rest in peace. With me today, I have Sims. Hello, Sims. Hello.
Oh, damn.
Oof. Rough.
Yeah.
Got a hack at it.
Rough out there.
Yeah. Oof. And then also we have Tucker. Welcome back, Tucker, from Backlog Banter. Yeah, welcome back to the show.
Very accurate. Yeah, I'm currently in a coffee-fueled, jittery daze, but I'm excited to talk about video games on a podcast.
Yes. This is episode 84. We've had not a crazy news week, but we had the PlayStation Showcase, which finally they've actually have done something.
Yeah.
What's up?
My audio wasn't coming through.
Oh, that's a problem.
Just to...
Is everything okay?
I'll be fine. I just think that my button. Just to recap for Connor in the chat.
Yes.
I said that Connor, the host, is not here due to the leg amputation. And I also said, because it's a joke and I need to redo the bit, he's having his leg
Jokes are always better
off.
twice.
Obviously. He's having his leg chopped off with a rusty saw because his insurance won't cover the proper required surgical items. And he's having no anesthesia. So, thoughts and prayers to Connor.
That was so much funnier the second time.
That's hilarious.
I'm fuming. I'm so angry.
But speaking of the showcase, I want to know how did everybody watch it? What did everybody think? Tucker, you're the guest. I want to start with you.
Yeah, we watched it. We recorded it. I edited down our reactions to a sort of highlights. It was the first time I've ever done that on our channel. But I was personally kind of underwhelmed by it. I know that's a very unpopular opinion. I've got a lot of crap for that. But Abram and I felt about the same way. Mostly that a lot of the games shown there were trailers with not a lot of new information. They were games we'd already seen before. We did not need to see Deathloop again.
I told you we'd see it again.
Out again. And a lot of the trailers were totally fine. All the games looked good. And there were a handful of solid announcements. But the games that are the big announcements aren't coming for a while. And one of my biggest problems with the PS5 at the moment is there's not a lot coming imminently. We have Horizon and Gran Turismo, and that's about it. Nothing for the rest of the year, and then only a little bit for next year confirmed. So not seeing titles announced for next spring or this winter or next summer was a little bit underwhelming. I'm very excited for God of War. I'm very excited for Spider-Man and Wolverine and all these things. But as they say on Kind of Funny, that's so far away. And so I just end up feeling like, yeah, that was fine. But I really felt like they could have done something more, especially because the things that they showed are either iterative sequels or we can know exactly what they are. There's not a lot of experimentation, not a lot of
surprises.
Yeah, exactly. Not a lot of surprises. And I think that's what it was lacking.
Yeah.
And what led to us being underwhelmed by it. On the whole, yeah. And it was like their E3, like technically. Like this was their big thing for the year.
Yes.
So not having it be banger after banger after it being a very long time since we've gotten a great PlayStation Showcase. I'd say
I think there were one last year.
November. Yeah. But that's a long time ago. So,
yeah. Sims, what did you think? I know you did the post show, but check that out on the channel.
Yeah, you can check that out at nerdicgods.com. Wait, youtube.com/nerdicgods. And you can search for our post show. I'm not very good at this.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Connor are very high on it. I wish Connor was here. We could maybe fight you two in a fight to the death.
Oh yeah,
I think I'm in between.
Yeah,
this
of course. A week out. Yeah, it was. It started off big. You know, we had the big Star Wars remake, right?
They say remake, but we don't know yet.
I think I was happy. Like I think I said in the post show, I was like, even if they'd stopped at like before they got to the PlayStation Studio, I'd have been like, yeah, okay, that's fine. But I'm easily pleased. I'm very easily pleased with it.
Yeah.
So,
I know you are.
I'm all about the hype. So I mean, even if a game's not for me, like it's for somebody else. Even the Project Eve thing, I was like, it's not for me, but you know, somebody else is really excited, really happy about this. I thought overall it was great, and especially you can imagine my reaction when they announced Spider-Man and Wolverine. Like, I think with Spider-Man, I had like heart palpitations. I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. That was all I said. And it was incredible. It was incredible. Well, overall, I thought it was great. I can't complain, but that's just me. I'm really excited. I forgot anyone whoever wants to hear my thoughts. You best to go over there. It's like literally like fresh and straight off the press. I'm excited to hear what Daniel thinks, as if because we all work so close together. I'm really excited to hear about his thoughts.
Right after I'll tell you my thoughts, but I do want to go through everything. I think that the show, especially the first half, was not very good. It had a couple of surprises that I liked, but I think overall, Tucker nailed it. They were showing, I think some trailers just were uninteresting trailers. I told you the past 2 weeks we knew the showcase was happening, at least how we record the show. I knew that they would show Deathloop again. I kept saying that. I knew it. That it was coming out the next couple of days. So I knew they would show that again. So that was not a surprise. I told you they were going to show GTA 5 again. I said that. I said that they would show GTA 5 again. I knew it. They did not show Kena. I thought that they would show another trailer for Kena, but they did not. They'll probably save that for its own thing. I think most of the announcements weren't that great, and I think they didn't really show a lot. Honestly, my favorite thing from here was God of War, and even to me, God of War, I wasn't wowed, which is surprising because it's one of my most anticipated games. I was excited to see everything they had to show for that game, but nothing in that trailer really was like, oh, wow. If he could have gotten Mjolnir, if they showed one shot of him getting Mjolnir or something, I would have been like, okay, this is it. But no, we didn't get that wow that we got with the 2018 God of War,
Yeah. Even the ones that are those big, exciting games, I'm going to play the crap out of Spider-Man 2, Wolverine, and God of War Ragnarok.
Me too.
Those are some of my favorite sequels to some of my favorite games of all time. Some of the best games of the generation. But you're right, they just didn't have that wow factor. It's like, this is exactly what we expected from every possible.
The Wolverine is the one surprise.
Yes,
that is the biggest surprise here. I think it's impressive, and I think we'll talk about it as we get to those announcements. But I think that I think we're going to get an announcement that Insomniac is split into 3 teams very soon. I think that because this really seems like this game is the Miles Morales team that is working on this game, and the main Spider-Man team is working on Spider-Man 2, and then the North Carolina team will probably do either a new Ratchet thing or maybe something new. We'll see what they do. But yeah, that's my quick thoughts.
I think the last thing I want to mention about it is that I think there's pretty, and I don't like using this word lightly, but objective problems with the pacing of this. Cramming all the PlayStation Studios exciting announcement into the very end was very strange. You show a bunch of trailers for games we've already seen plenty of, and then you have to catch back up and go bam, 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 PlayStation Studios. And if they just sprinkled them out more throughout,
put that Wolverine thing right in the middle.
Exactly, yeah.
I think that's where it would have been better.
I actually think that would have been more interesting as a closer, to be honest. I mean, God of War Ragnarok is probably the most anticipated thing from this, but because we didn't know about Wolverine going in.
I like the hint of it being Insomniac, Marvel, and then it not being Spider-Man first.
Yeah, sure.
Would have been a better
cold open on Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. That's a hype building moment. Of course, it was still very exciting, but as we'll get into. But yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of that, we'll get right into it. So I'm going to try to go in order. If I mess up, let me know. Because I got a couple of different websites here. So the first thing that they showed was the weirdest way to start a showcase I've seen in a very long time, and it actually did not like it at all.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It was what is it called? The city where play has no limits, I think is what the name of the trailer is. It was very self-indulgent. It was very unnecessary. It took too long. Yeah. I don't know how you guys feel about this trailer, but to me, it wasn't very good.
Yeah, I kind of hated it. It's like the weird energy of those live action commercials they did during the PS4 era, but like cranked up to 13, but in a really obnoxious way, in a nonsensical way. It's like, okay, well, why are they playing chess? Because play has no limits. What does that mean? Like, it doesn't tie into any specific games. At least
Felt
those
like
older,
a PS commercial.
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought that was a terrible thing to include in a exciting and anticipated press conference as well. Like, what a mood breaker. It's just terrible.
Yeah, Sims.
I definitely think it was unnecessary and too long. And obviously, my anxiety was like, this is taking too much time. Like, hurry up, because like you said, 40 minutes. But I think they gave us the 2 minutes back.
Yeah.
At the end, because I was as the Gran Turismo trailer was playing, I was like, they can't end on this, because it was like 39 my time. I was like, they can't end on this. Like, it would just be awful. Like, they've got to show God of War. Even though they didn't say they was showing God of War, I was like, they've got to show God of War. So obviously, but it got to, I think it finished at like 45th minute. So yeah, they gave us the time back. Unnecessary. I was like, what's this? Like, it's just PlayStation swinging their big old penis, isn't it? Like, look at us. I was like, I remember like trying to find the second PS5. A lot of people were like, everyone was saying, quoting the play has limits because no one can get one.
Yeah,
just always stuck with me. And I was like, people just still can't get one of these bad boys. Yeah, it was very. I agree, self-indulgent, unnecessary. I did not enjoy it.
It's the same kind of energy that you see out of Sony, who will do like musical interludes in their E3 conferences. Like, why are you doing this? This is not
Man from Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah,
banjo guy for Last of Us 2.
Yeah,
there was even
banjo guy.
A band for Lost Legacy. If you remember PSX, I think 2016. That was really weird.
Weird.
Yeah, but I don't like that energy. Sony, get off your high horse. Just show us the freaking games.
Yeah. Speaking of showing us the games, I think it really started strong here with the Knights of the Old Republic remake being made by Aspire, which I think is the Red Flag Aspire. Sims, what did you think about that reveal of the Knights of the Old Republic remake?
I was more shocked that it was there. I was like, this is an Xbox thing. Like, you think Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic, and you think Xbox. So I was like, I was a bit. It's like the audacity.
So I do want to say it is timed exclusive on PlayStation 5, and it will also have a PC release. Continue.
Yeah. It was just more like, I was like, fuck, like the audacity, or like, this is Xbox, and I was shocked by it. I'm excited because I missed out on it, and obviously I was quite young and probably wasn't as interested in video games as I am now. So I'm really excited to check it out. Connor said, if you like Mass Effect, you'll like this. And I was like, where do I sign? So I'm excited. I'm really excited. I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan in the world. I enjoy Star Wars. I will watch his films, and I've seen the trilogies, but other than the side stuff, I mean, I enjoyed the part of Mandalorian I have seen. But this, I'm excited. Video games cool, man. Video games cool.
Of course.
As long as it's better than that fucking stupid Star Wars game. What's it called?
Do not.
Fallen Order?
Fallen Order
you don't like Fallen Order?
He does not.
I hate that game.
Oh,
what an underwhelming game. I got the platinum for that game. And
so did he. And he hated it because of the platinum.
Yes. You know, you're getting to the end of that platinum, and you have to cheese the stormtroopers are like spawning in weird places, and you're clipping through the environment. It's like, this is not a well-made game.
You did it to yourself.
Trash.
Tucker, what did you think about the reveal here?
Honestly, kind of meant nothing to me. I used to be a Star Wars fan. I kind of burned out on it, and Knights of the Old Republic is a cool game. I played a little bit of it on the unfortunately the mobile port when I was younger, but this could be cool. I think you're right that it being developed by Aspire is strange, because this is by far the biggest project they've ever handled.
They've had to Star Wars ramp up their
team.
Yes,
and so making this a PlayStation 5 from the ground up remake of a really big game is kind of strange.
They've been very cagey on how much they're even doing to this game.
True.
They're calling it a remake, but the way that they were talking at the end, that little developer talk that they had, which I did not like at the end of this showcase.
Yeah.
It just seemed markety. But that little interview that they had, they didn't really reveal much. So I don't know, is it just going to be visuals and they're going to keep the gameplay the same, or are they actually going to Final Fantasy VII remake this, where it's kind of turn-based but kind of not? I'm not too sure. Yeah,
and I think on top of that, the actual trailer for the game was just the smallest teaser you can possibly do. This exists, and the character from the game is here. And it's PlayStation 5 exclusive, which I think is the most interesting part about it. As Sims was saying, that's a game you relate to Xbox. And Sony has, from my perspective at least, this whole year kind of been losing little chunks to Xbox. They MLB being on Game Pass, them closing down Japan studios, Xbox making all these big acquisitions, and Sony's just kind of been fumbling around releasing 1 or 2 games. I'm pretty down on Sony this year, to be honest. But
I mean, it's also a lot of little
sign.
things with Sony as well. There's a lot of little stuff.
But this is a pretty interesting thing. It's showing them taking back a little ground and making a move that could be pretty big for them if this game comes out and is great. We have to obviously see what it looks like. We have to see what the gameplay changes are. We have to know when it's coming out. That was even teased at all. So
it's going to at least be probably 2 years.
Yeah, at least. I don't think it was a great trailer. It's a cool game, but there definitely could have been something more.
Definitely. But let's continue. And then I think the next game that they showed was the Project Eve game.
Yeah.
Which looked like a mix between Bayonetta and Nier. Pretty crazy game. This was a interesting trailer. Too long of a trailer, I'll say.
Yeah.
Like it got to a point when I'm like, okay, I think I've seen enough for this tease. We can kind of move on here. But I did like it because I am a huge character action fan. I've been waiting for Bayonetta 3 for years at this point. And I like Square, but this is a Korean team from what I gather. It's not a Japanese team. So I think this is their first game.
Okay.
I think that this is their first official game. I think they might have worked on something, but not put out a release. What did you think of that, Tucker?
It doesn't do much for me. I mean, it kind of just looks like what I think of high definition, semi-realistic with like anime elements action games that are totally high quality and fine, but I just have no experience with them. I do want to play Bayonetta, I do want to play Devil May Cry, but I just haven't. And I have no connection to the Eve series or whatever. So it didn't do anything to me, but it was definitely one of the more interesting announcements because it was new. But you're right. The trailer went on for a very long time. And as someone who wasn't familiar with or has no connection to that series, it's
not a part of a series. Not a part of a series that we know of.
Okay, no. I thought it was a
They were hinting at things from Project Eve, or what is it? Parasite Eve. They're hinting Parasite Eve things, but from what we know, this is a new IP.
Okay, interesting. All right, that definitely makes it a little more interesting in my eyes. But because it was entirely new, and for me, it kind of just looked like what we've seen before in terms of realistic character action games. Totally looks good, but nothing super special, which I think applies to a lot of what we saw.
The story could be the thing that makes it stand out, though, which we'll see. Another trailer. Sims, what'd you think about it? Project Eve.
I thought it was Parasite Eve. No further comment.
Yeah,
you did.
I was getting seriously excited though. I was like, because obviously the cat said, "Cat was it cat? It was cat on it. Cat. There was a cat in the trailer.
What?
Someone was.
There was.
Oh yes.
Somebody. Obviously because it was all in Korean, I guess.
Yeah.
And I kept saying Eve, and I was like Eve.
Then they said Parasite,
and I was like Eve. And then it wasn't. But no, I really enjoyed Parasite Eve 2. I remember picking it up from Video Game Store one day. Me and my cousin playing it for a long time. And like, I was thinking, this is incredible. Like, because it's just like scary, turn-based, weird, like, blood everywhere. Shouldn't be playing this game because I'm about 10 years old. You know, I'm still getting my nappies changed. And I was like, oh, sick. Wait. Chris is in the chat. Hi, Chris. How are you?
Hey, Chris.
Yeah. It looked decent, to be fair. I can't complain. Like, it looked beautiful, and I mean, I kind of grew out of these like hack and slash, over the top combat games. If that makes sense. Like, I think I played Devil May Cry last year because I was just trying to fill in a week or two before another release. Back in the day, I was playing, Dante's Inferno and Bayonetta and anything I can get my hands on. Like, that's just like walk around, cause as much mayhem as possible.
All right. Next was the Tiny Tina's Wonderlands trailer, which they've actually showed some gameplay. I'm a big Borderlands fan, so I was very curious to see what this game looked like. And it definitely looked like more Borderlands. We didn't get a hint at a ton of the powers, but it definitely seems like they are doing like fantasy powers, which I think is pretty cool. It's a little bit of a twist. We didn't really get to see a ton of the character stuff. It was kind of just first-person shooting things. The world seems pretty cool. You definitely get fantasy enemies and fantasy worlds you're going to. But it didn't really do much for me as a Borderlands fan. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no connection to Borderlands. I think the idea of having a looter shooter first person high quality game with fantasy elements is very unique that we don't see that almost
definitely.
ever. So I'm excited, or I'm interested in it from that regard. But I also don't really care about Borderlands. I mean, I only played a little bit of the first one. I'd like to get more into the series, but that's like on the back burner sort of thing. The one hindering factor is Tina's voice is really obnoxious.
Do not besmirch Ashley Birch, Tucker. Okay,
I'll besmirch her as much as I need to, because I was sitting there listening to this trailer and she's just screeching over the whole thing. I'm like, oh my god, I can't imagine playing an entire game with this character narrating it. That would drive my soul bonkers.
I love Ashley Birch. Yeah, Sims, what did you think? I saw that look you gave me.
I'm so shocked because when I was watching it, I was like, this is some Dungeons and Dragons nerdy shit.
Yes.
If Daniel doesn't like it,
I do though. I do.
This took me by surprise. Like I was like,
okay.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, I'm technically Borderlands out. Like after you play 3 of them, you play them all. But this one seems to be doing something so much different. Like even like the special moves that took you into a third person perspective, where like you're swinging a hammer. And obviously there's dragons and stuff. I was like, this is decent. I texted my friend already. I was like, look, March 25th, I think they gave it. Let's go. Let's play some Borderlands together. Like this looks.
Yeah, great. We need more big releases in the first part of the year.
Obviously.
Oh, there's not enough of them.
How is it possible to be broke already in next year?
Well, we'll talk about. There's another game that just put itself in there this week.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that later.
But the game looked great. I'm really surprisingly into it. Like when it got announced at E3, Randy Pitchford, like when I look at him, I just want to spit. So I kind of like, I don't know.
Get him out of your head.
Yeah,
just play the game for it being the game.
Of course, yeah, definitely, yeah. It was just the whole press conference as well was a bit weird. But no, when I heard about it, I was like, oh, okay, more Borderlands. Maybe it isn't Borderlands. Maybe it's like I don't know.
I think we need, for me, what the big thing I need for this is like what are the classes breakdowns? That's what I'm waiting for. You start showing me what these different fantasy classes could do in Borderlands. That is where you're going to start getting me. Yeah. Like when you get some like knight with a sword and a shield or something ability or whatever, I don't know. But that's what would throw me over the edge. Yeah. I am very excited for this game though.
I think, yeah, Chris says, I think it just echoes what I've just said. It looked fun in the fantasy world, a nice change to the pace of Borderlands. Like, it's still got that humor and comedy, and sometimes it hits hit and miss for me. I mean, a game can be quite, how can I put it, like soul destroying? Because I remember the first one. I think it was the first or the second one where the bird dies, and I was like,
that was the second one.
Devastated.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
the games are different levels. But I surprisingly, like when I saw it, I was like, this looks great. And yeah, admittedly, like fucking Tiny Tina in the background. Oh god,
I don't mind Tiny Tina. I love Ashley Birch.
That trailer was a lot though. You could tell like
she's not going to be screaming at you the whole game, but she's definitely running the D&D game that you're playing.
Yeah, of course. There's going to be a lot of a narrative from her.
Mm-hmm.
Narration. Sorry.
Yes. And next we have this was the more gameplay, I guess, for Forspoken. I couldn't get that out. Forspoken. We actually got to see her running a little more, her actually doing some powers. We saw her, I forget her name. Do you remember her name?
The character's name? No.
Wait, is this it here? Frey? Is it Frey?
It is now.
I think it's Frey. We saw Frey go from being the real world into the fantasy world, which I think is pretty cool. Overall, the trailer, like visually, I think it was pretty cool. It seemed pretty barren to me, except for some of the fights, especially with like her running over the city. It's like didn't see anything happening in the city. And so is it just like a parkour section? Like I hope that this world isn't just open and barren. Because this is the team that did Final Fantasy 15, and that world was pretty barren. I like that game, but it was pretty open just for being open.
Sure.
I hope that this isn't that as well. What did you think about it, Tucker?
This is actually one of the games that I'm more interested in, just from the gameplay that we've seen, looking so ridiculously fluid. The animation is off the charts in terms of the attacks and the things that she's summoning. You've got like 3 different kinds of double jumps.
Shooting water bubbles or something.
I don't even know what's going on, but it does seem really engaging from a combat and movement perspective, and that's something that automatically grabs me. I really couldn't care less about the world. They haven't shown anything to me that makes it seem super unique or compelling, but you place a character that can do those kind of crazy movement and attack moves in a large environment with some fun battles and some exploration, right up my alley. That's definitely one that I'm most excited for. I remember seeing that the tease of a few seconds of movement before, and just been like, oh my god, the animation and the how fluid everything is. It looks awesome. And this trailer was, again, very long. It shouldn't have been as long as it was. And the story, couldn't. It was going one ear out the other. I had no idea what's going on, but it does look very fun. And that's definitely one of the.
It was also very. They were like doing scene by scene. Like I think it was very hard to get what was actually happening.
Mm-hmm.
Sims, what did you think about Forspoken?
I think it was just PlayStation's way of saying, "Look how pretty we can make this game look on our system." Like it's like visual porn. Like it looks stunning. Every scene that you saw.
Porn is visual porn.
Shut up. Game porn. You know what I'm saying, though? Like it was like probably the best looking thing we'd seen, to be fair. Like definitely better than what God of War looked like, if that makes sense. Like,
well, it's a cross-gen game.
Exactly, yeah. So
true.
It's just got that this new style that where everyone's going for, that floaty running gameplay, like going back to what
Solar Ash.
Yeah. And the early one, the release, the day one release.
Oh, the Pathless.
That's it, yeah. Everything, all of these games seems to be going for that all runny, smooth, fast-paced gameplay, and then they've just added in the dragons. Don't get me wrong, it looks great. It looks phenomenal. But I don't know. I need to play one of these games. I keep meaning to play the Pathless, but it's just one of those things I've never got to. But dragons. Some spooky...
Everybody likes dragons.
Yeah, everyone likes dragons. Like, look at Tiny Tina. I was like, dragons, I'm in. Then if
she's riding a dragon.
Dragons, I'm in. No, it looks like a visual masterpiece, and I think even just for that alone, like, I'd happily play it. So, no, I mean, not necessarily for me, but I'm excited.
Okay. Next up, did you have something else to say, Tucker? Sorry, I saw your hand move. I was
giving him an affirmative thumbs up.
I saw your hand move. I was like, wait.
Congratulations.
I think now, right about to this point, is the big lull of this whole conference. This
is what paid for it, though, isn't it? Like a lot of money is exchanged for these marketing.
Definitely. The next trailer was another trailer for Rainbow Six Extraction.
Oh yeah,
which is kind of like the sequel-ish to Rainbow Six Siege. Didn't really need to see another. Yeah, with an alien invasion. They had like an alien invasion season, if I remember, for Siege. So I think this is kind of like an offshoot of that. I just don't need to keep seeing this game until it's give me a tease, a trailer, a launch trailer. I don't need to see it again.
Yeah.
And I don't need to see it until a launch trailer or it comes out. I don't know how do you feel about it, Tucker?
I've played Siege like 3 times, and it was very complex, and I could not get my head around it. And I'm also not really one to play multiplayer games like that, competitive games like that, first-person shooter games like that, Ubisoft games like that. So this is entirely out of my wheelhouse. The graphics are fine. I'm kind of glad that Rainbow Six is doing something, Tom Clancy games are doing something different in terms of it being aliens, which is something they haven't done before, as far as I know.
That's not Tom Clancy though.
Yeah, exactly. But it is different, and I guess I appreciate it from that angle. But also, we've seen plenty of co-op first-person shooter games with aliens. So this isn't actually unique in terms of that. It's just unique in comparison to its own series. So it's sort of a hit and miss on there. But no, I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to think about it ever again. Whatever. I did think it was kind of an unnecessary thing to show, though.
I think so too. Sims, did you like this trailer? I
went to the toilet.
No, that's all I need.
No, but I knew what it is. I've seen it. We saw it at E3. Yeah. I've said this last week. I enjoyed Siege. I think out of all the first-person multiplayers, if anyone was what do you want to play, I'd play that one because I think it's slower paced. it's one, you get a headshot, it's game over. Like you're dead. So I think it's very complex, very slow, methodical gameplay of like teamwork as well. Like, and then but then obviously now with this one you got the aliens, and it's just like, yeah, it looks great, but how much of you? I don't know. Like, it's just Siege of Aliens. That's what it is. I enjoy Siege.
I mean, there seems to be some weird doing runs type of thing that they talked about during E3. We didn't really get a hint of that in this trailer, but they talked about like trying to go through this area. You could die, and you'd have to go back and get your things.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
I mean, I do think you're right with it just kind of being Siege with aliens, because I have very little experience with Siege, and I don't really care too much about it. I don't keep up with it or anything. But the things I know about Siege are, you can put down little drivable cars and look around with the cameras, and you put things up on the wall to reinforce them, and that was all in this trailer. Like, I'm like, yup, this is the gameplay of one of these games. But they gave it a little alien powers, so whatever.
Yeah,
Siege is a great game.
Siege is awesome.
No, nothing against it, yeah.
No, of course, no, it's just not for you, and that's okay, Tucker. The rest of the world, that is okay. I'm looking at you, world.
Me? Oh.
I was addressing
the world, not you. You don't count.
I know, I'm not a part of it. The next game we got, which we got the announcement, there was nothing new here, which is the Alan Wake Remastered. It's coming everywhere now. It's coming to Xbox and PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4, which is awesome for the first time. I think it's also coming to PC with the Remastered. I could be wrong. I think it's PC as well. But yeah, I mean, we got this announcement like 2 days before this event, so I feel like they shouldn't have done that and should have just let it be here. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. What do you think, Tucker?
I haven't played Alan Wake. I mean, I love Control's one of my favorite games of all time, so I'm kind of interested to play other games from Remedy. I did not play the Alan Wake DLC either. I'm not a DLC guy. That's the conversation for another time. But this game looks good. I can't say if I would enjoy Alan Wake or not, but if I can pick up Alan Wake Remastered for $20 half a year after it comes out, then
it's 30.
I'll give it a try. Oh, okay. So even
it's definitely budget.
At that sort of price point, actually, not too bad. But I mean, totally mediocre, nothing announcement for me.
Okay, Sims, what did you think about it being in this conference?
What are you talking about?
Alan Wake Master.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out if Medora wants me or not. Yeah, why not? Why not strike with the iron? Everyone's talking about it, and then I think we get the date in this one. And it's
we had the date. We talked about the date.
We didn't have a date.
Yes.
No.
Yes, we did. We talked about the date.
This is the first time we had the date.
We talked about it being. We talked about it in the show.
No, we didn't have a date.
Like October. Yes.
Someone go check a previous episode. Find out who's right.
I'm telling you, we had the date. I'm telling you, we
were talking about when we were like, oh,
it was. No. We talked about it because it was in October. No. We talked about it being in October.
We said at the end of October. Now.
Well, there's a date. I'm just telling you, we talked about it being in October. Telling you.
No.
But yeah, so it's coming to PlayStation for the first time, which is awesome.
I'm really excited. I think me and Natalie had a conversation of like, we were talking about it, and she was like, "Are you gonna get this?" And I was like, "Yeah," because like it's such a good game. I think I had a conversation. I spoke to you about it last week. Like, you played it, right, Tucker?
No, he is not.
Oh man, like. I played like a quarter of this game, not realizing the mechanics, and that makes the game very, very, very difficult. So
I'm sure if you're not playing the game with its mechanics,
I was 10 years. That was like 10 years ago. 10 years ago. But no, I'm excited. Alan Wake. I think I said everything last week. Control, like if Alan, you said let's Control 2 and you're Alan Wake instead of the lady. Maybe
Jesse Faden,
yeah.
Did you say Control was like your favorite game? Okay.
It's in my one of my top 15. Yeah.
I love you, man. Tucker knows, man. Everyone
I love that game so much. Oh my god!
Man, completely took me by surprise.
Control's great.
You know why I played Control? To get the bad taste of Star Wars out my mouth.
Yeah. That should have been up for Game of the Year awards and all that. I actually think the first time I learned about Control was when it won
Game of the Year.
Yeah. I think the first time I learned about Control was when it won Best Art Direction at the Game Awards that year. And I'm like, what the hell is this? This looks awesome. and then I played it.
Oh,
And
you
it was
didn't
awesome.
see it? You didn't see it when it was coming out in like May?
Come on.
No, I didn't.
No, wait.
Yeah,
I
I got it for like $15 on a sale because it was so long after it came out. But oh my god,
Yeah, I don't remember exactly when it came out. It might have been a little later than May, but it didn't chart. That was a big issue. It didn't sell well initially.
27th of August, 2019.
Oh, August. Okay.
No, yeah, because I remember this coming out, and I've said this last week. I thought it was just a double A normal, run of the mill summer game. Do you know what I mean? I was like, oh, Control's coming out, whatever. And then everyone was kind of like, not high on it, but like, oh, it's great, yeah, good combat, blah blah blah. But then it's just started. The momentum just seemed to pick up, and then by Christmas, it was getting Game of the Year awards, and people would talk about it. So I said I think it was on sale for Christmas. I said, nah, if you want to get me that, great. And I played Star Wars, had an awful time with it. This like fake ass, let's try and be Dark Souls, but none of our mechanics are actually like worthy of the Dark Souls mechanics. And then I played this great game, and everything was better. Played it in a weekend, platted it in a weekend.
I platinumed it in less than a week. That was a great experience.
Good, Friday, Saturday,
It's Star Wars. That Star Wars hate's just making me upset.
It's just not a good game. It is not a good game.
I'm moving on. All right, we got another announcement for the GTA 5 next gen.
When's it coming out again?
It was supposed to come out, I think, in November, and then now it's coming out in March.
It should have released with the console.
Yeah.
What?
Now it's coming out next spring. So
do you remember that they opened one of their big conferences?
Yeah, it was their big conference. Yep. Yeah.
You see the Rockstar logo on the announcement on the showcase that's announcing all the new games for the next console. Like, holy shit, they're finally doing it. Hey, GTA 5 again. Buy it again, you suckers. And I'm like, oh god.
I love Rockstar.
But hey, honestly though, with this trailer, and I don't know if this information is all new, but there's a lot of things that they're adding to this that actually do seem like rather substantial upgrades.
Yeah, especially the big one that I saw was they're going to update the character picking. When you pick of the three different ones, it's supposed to be faster, or I think they said seamless character switching. So I think that's a big issue that I had when I played on the 360 was that it took forever to switch to Michael or whatever.
Yeah, but you also played it on the 360. That was a decade ago.
Yeah,
nothing against you. I'm just talking about how
you weren't even born yet.
Died. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I know. It hasn't died. We'll get GTA 6 soon. I was hoping one of my predictions was maybe we'd get the older trilogy remastered in this conference, but they did not have it ready. Sims, what did you think? Seeing more GTA 5. I told you it was going to be there.
Yeah, exactly.
I told you it was going to be there.
Look, man, people are buying this game. This game's in MPDs every week, every month. So you guys are saying, "Oh, buy this game, suckers." These suckers are going to buy this game. It's the online. It's not, if that online, if they start that online up in the March and it's as fresh as a daisy, loads up fast, like less than 30 seconds would be fast. Then that gives them another 2 more years to breathe to make GTA 6. Like, people love this game,
and I think that's what they're going to do. Yeah, I don't see GTA 6 coming anytime soon, especially if they're releasing another version of this game with substantial updates, and they're like giving the online a better boost and all that. They're going to want this game to sell like hotcakes again.
They also put out a game like every 5 years or so. So I think what was it, 2018 was GTA Red Dead 2. Yeah. So GTA 6 will probably be 2023, 2024. I'd say that's probably pretty. I'd probably lock that into one of those 2 years. So they have time. Rockstar has time. They have so many other mini Rockstar teams that could be doing this update anyways. It might not be. It's probably not Rockstar North doing this. Like they're not wasting their time porting this game.
There's a team in Aberdeen, Scotland, so they're probably doing it.
Yeah, there's also their new acquired Rockstar Dundee as well. We don't know what they're doing. The rumor is I think that they're doing the remastered trilogy, but we'll see. Next. Go ahead.
Chris was just saying, like, he's never finished GTA. Like, does he hold up now?
Oh yeah, 100%. That's one of the greats.
I mean, it was a good. Is it a good story?
I liked it.
I can't remember that much. The heists are good.
Yeah, that game's great. The characters are great.
There's some good set pieces.
Obviously, the game is supposed to be satire. So if you don't like that, like it could just come off really cheesy to you or something. But that's what GTA is.
I think I just don't remember it that well. I remember.
Yeah, I mean, it came out 2013.
I've tried to play it a
It's
few
old.
times. I always get to the bit where you're chasing the boat. They kind of just fall off.
With your son, when your
Yeah.
son's like on the car thing. Okay, yeah. It's pretty. It's like what, a third of the way through the game, something like that.
Probably.
Pretty early.
Don't get me wrong, it's great. Yeah, definitely play it, Chris. Like, definitely wait for the PlayStation. You may as well have a look what it looks like.
It'll look great. New
Sucker.
consoles. Next, we got actually gameplay for Ghostwire Tokyo. Finally, they've actually shown a little bit more of who you're playing and gameplay of it. It's probably is the best trailer that they've had. The other ones are more concept. What is going on? People like getting blinked out of Tokyo. Just weird creatures and stuff, but we actually get to see you doing spells and stuff, like first-person spells. And I remember them saying that this isn't a horror game, but I got a lot of horror vibes. There's a lot of horror vibes with these enemies, and this is Tango Gameworks. They're a horror studio, so I don't know what they were saying with it not being horror, but I like the trailer. It didn't like blow me away. I'm still kind of iffy on the game in general. I think I just need to see more, maybe. But yeah, what did you think, Sims?
I was completely put off. I think Connor was as
Really?
well. I don't want to put words in his mouth. I think we're both kind of put off. And then like the Slenderman vibes kind of weirded Natalie out. And me and Connor were saying there was a lot of like hand gestures and
Yeah, that's when he was doing the spells and stuff.
I'm just like, what are you showing me? Like, I don't understand. Like, and that was my
Mhm.
thought process. So, I mean, if they come out and next year and show me a better trailer, then maybe they can. I won't play it anyway. I don't think it doesn't look like a game for Steve. Looks like a game for Nat. Like she likes these scary, freaky deaky games. So
it was the lady with the hair, pretty scary looking.
The Slender Man doesn't do. We're not big. Natalie's not a big fan of that Slender Man. Oh, Slender Man.
I played the 5 pages
Yeah.
when it first came out. Could play it on the browser or whatever. Yeah. Tucker, what'd you think about that?
I'm in the same boat as you. I mean, it looks like a solidly made game, and I'm glad that there's sort of something different with it being paranormal and stuff. But it's a game that I'm totally happy exists, and I will hear the reviews when they come out, and that's about it. It's a game that I would, probably pick up if it's good a couple months after launch when it's on a sale or something like that. But I don't have any particular drive to play it, though it does look good. Yeah,
I think the big drive for me is honestly, it's I guess it's a mixed bag because this game has definitely been in development hell. Like Nakamura left, if you remember, she was the game director, and then
that's kind of worrying.
It was worrying.
She was the reason this game is interesting because she was such a great personality.
But now the director is Mikami. That he's supposedly directing this game now, which I think is pretty exciting because Mikami's a legend. I don't really think can make something bad. That's why I think it's a little bit mixed. Like I do love Mikami. I mean, he's made some of my favorite games ever. So we'll see. I don't know. Maybe this is a wait for a review for me, to be honest.
Just add in from the chat before we go. Chris says Tokyo looks great. I'm interested now, but he was not before. And he goes, you'll probably pick it up when it's cheaper.
Same with Tucker, yeah. Next, we got a very weird trailer that I think was very unnecessary and did not help this game, which was the Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy trailer. I think this is probably the worst trailer that they've had. And I think that they kind of just need to stop showing this game. I think they just need to put out. Go ahead.
Yeah, this game just needs to come out and people need to play it. It's kind of hard to tell how different this is in terms of relating to the different characters and the overarching narrative and stuff. And of course, coming off of Marvel's Avengers, Square is not on a hot streak for Marvel games. But I think this could be cool, and I'm certainly going to try it. I'm a Marvel nerd in that way. But after seeing that ridiculously long reveal trailer and gameplay breakdown and informational breakdown,
it was a lot. It was good. It was a lot.
So much, but yeah. I didn't feel like I needed to see more of the game, especially not at a press conference like this with a trailer that didn't necessarily show anything new or exciting. The game is coming out pretty soon. It will hopefully be good, but I do think this was unnecessary, and I do agree that it wasn't a great trailer.
Yeah, the jokes just didn't land. Like, I love Guardians. It's one of my
having its
favorite.
heart attack. Shut the fuck.
I mean, obviously, we don't understand the context. Like, there could be more to the joke. Like, there obviously that's how Marvel movies work. There's usually build up to the joke, and they do it different ways. So, like, the joke could be better in the game. It's just it didn't land. Sims, I know you're also a huge Marvel fan, like the rest of us. What did you think about this trailer?
I think I've always been skeptical from the start. Like, I think you guys, when we first saw it, everyone was like, "Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy," and I was like, the gameplay looks exactly the same as Marvel Avengers, and you've all been moaning about that. The trailer was alright. It looked pretty. Like, there was a lot of colors and a lot of music. I was kind of like, yeah, okay, I know, and that was it. Like, I didn't really.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't really listen to it. I kind of just looked at it because I think one bit was like the spaceship. I think that you controlled the spaceship. That bit was the only bit I really was like, oh, that looks interesting. This would be a game that I'll wait for it to come down. I think like I'm guessing the same everywhere, but like as it gets closer to Christmas, like December time, games normally drop maybe 20 quid, 20, 10, 15, and it's always a game that you probably like you'll buy for Christmas. So I won't be playing this until probably Christmas time. This will be the first game. I said this last time. This will be the first game I play, like Christmas Day. I'll play this straight away because I know I'm going to knock it out in a couple of hours. Bit like Miles. I played Miles on the Christmas break. I think this will be great. I think it'll be a good 7 AA Square Enix. This is what Avengers should have been.
100% single player. That's it.
Yes.
It should have been.
Chris says he hopes it's. I hope it's great. I hope this comes out to like, oh, this is better than we thought, and I think it might be. I think the story might be the bit that like kind of blows us all away with it. Like,
hopefully, because it is Eidos Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
Like they make the Deus Ex games. Like that has good story. Like I don't know if this is what I want them to be doing. I think I'd rather them be doing either something new or another Deus Ex game. But I don't know. It seems like Square's got some Marvel license that they got to keep going. So
as long as I'm playing this game and I got a smile on my face, I'll be okay.
I think it's going to at least be fun to play for a little while. It's how long is this game?
Yeah, that's the real question. If it's too long, I'll be certainly turned away from it. I think this is a, in my eyes,
I'd say 10 to 15.
8 hour. I think 8 to 12 is a range that I would be most happy with. Is just contained, tight, a lot of fun, maybe a little bit of replay value, some fun trophies. Done. I don't want it to be stretched out unnecessarily, especially because there's a lot of stuff that I want to be playing this upcoming next few months. So yeah, I just hope it's not too long.
Yeah, me too.
I think a lot of people moaning about the characters. Like, I kind of got the same vibes from the Avengers game. Like, why is everyone's like, oh, I don't like the characters.
Dollar store characters.
Yeah, but I think they're okay. Like, I
think they're fine. I don't know.
Yeah, I have nothing against them.
I don't think they're bad, but I also don't think they're like great representations of those characters. I think Rocket looks fine, and I think Gamora looks fine.
It's just
I think those are like the two.
It's their interpretation of the characters.
Yeah.
I don't
really like Star-Lord looks like whatever. I don't know. Drax, I don't like how Drax looks.
Star-Lord is supposed to look whatever, though, and he's just a common.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't like his outfit. That's why I just switch it, get a different costume. I know there's gonna be costumes in the game, so probably just switch up the costumes, make them all look better.
People just take it way too seriously, especially because we've had this Marvel universe, the cinematic universe.
Yeah,
when there's a little something.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Something that's different. No.
Tucker, what was it? The Marvel what?
We'll find out later. That's movie stuff.
Movies.
Wait, hold on a minute.
Yes.
Where'd that voice come from?
I'm not mocking you. I'm just being an asshole.
I'm mocking him.
That's I wasn't mocking you.
People just. I don't know what everyone's problem is. Oh, they don't look like the people from the films. So?
I don't
Avengers
care about
came
that.
out.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like my Captain America. No, he looks like Square Enix's fucking Captain America. Now move on.
Oh yeah, he looked dumb. His suit looked dumb. His like standard suit looked very dumb.
I was okay with all of it. Like I've got bigger things to worry about.
Sure.
Sorry.
Let's move on to the next game. Go ahead.
On podcasts, you hear people like 10-minute conversations about, oh, I don't like this character. Why do the characters? Who gives a fuck?
I mean,
Okay,
my guess.
we can critique the media at some other point because I have a lot of critiques about the media. But the next reveal we had was a interesting one. We've seen this game before. It is the Masquerade Bloodline. I think it has that title as well. Blood Hunt, I think is the official name. Blood Hunt. It is a free-to-play battle royale with vampires. I don't know if there's getting a PC release, but it is getting a PS5 release, and they only said 2021, which there's only so many months.
There's not much left. Yeah,
You should have just had a date.
Tell us when it's coming out.
Yeah, you should have just had a date. Like that'd have been great.
I honestly completely forgot this existed.
Mhm.
It has gone from my mind. From what I can remember, it looked totally fine, but not special at all.
It had some cool concepts in there, but it didn't blow me away.
Yeah,
Definitely. But yeah, I wasn't like crazy. I don't like free to play too much. But
Yeah.
Sims, what did you think about that?
Zoned out the whole way through.
Yep.
All right, that's all I needed to
Sorry.
hear.
It was
No,
just what it was. I was
that's
like, okay.
Yeah,
Another one of those things. I'm glad this is happening.
yeah.
finally.
This is still the lull. We're still in the lull of like this conference. And speaking of the lull, we got another Deathloop trailer, which I still think was probably one of the weaker Deathloop trailers.
yeah.
Like another pretty weak trailer. Like, what didn't blow me away. Like I knew we were going to get it again, but yeah. Anything else to say about Deathloop?
Why you don't need to have it again? This had no new information. I mean, the game's coming out that soon. It always frustrates me when companies, it doesn't matter who, dedicate a large chunk of a trailer of their press conference to something we know, we've seen a ton of, and is coming out very imminently. That's the sort of thing you say is, as a stinger, hey, and remember, this is coming out soon. You don't need another trailer for it. That always pissed me off. This is totally unnecessary. We were all going to get if you're going to get the game, you're already excited to get this trailer. Did not change your mind.
I guess to play devil's advocate slightly is that Arcane has a history of not selling well, so
sure.
They need to they're trying to push, I think, this game a little bit more.
Yeah,
and true. I mean, what's not helping it is it being exclusive. So, I mean, now they're going to be on Xbox, but hopefully now they will just have unlimited budget, whatever time. They don't need anything anymore. So Arcane will be fine. But yeah, we didn't need to see it again. And then this game, I thought of Sims when I saw this game. Chia, cute little island game where you're hopping in between animals. I don't know what you're doing. You're becoming them. You're taking over their minds. Are you Mario Odysseying it? You're like putting a little hat on them or something? I don't know.
This game.
What'd you think about it?
Cute as fuck.
Yeah, it did.
Looked great. I was like, this is dope. This looks great. I don't know. There's something
I knew
about
you would like it.
Something nice, a little. I don't know. Like it's just like a little bit of happiness. Just There's no
It's like the only indie game here.
Yeah, I think the reason that this excited me the most is because it was so different from everything else we saw. A lot of these are the same kind of realistic art style with semi-anime or fantasy elements. This is entirely different. The gameplay is entirely different. It's different in terms of scale of development and honestly just looks really fun. I mean, it's got story elements, it's got characters,
Wild
it's got exploration. Exactly, yeah. Hopping, but like really smoothly hopping between the bodies of the animals and stuff. I think it honestly looks great, and it was one of the only surprises of this entire conference. Had no idea it existed before. I'm glad it was shown here on this sort of presentation scale.
Definitely.
And it looked a lot of fun and very different. So I'm excited. Yeah.
Anything else to say on this one?
I think
we needed more of this energy in this conference. Trailers for games that we don't know about, that are new information that actually gets excited, that have different tones. If everything's the same kind of style and length and no information and whatever, same kind of gameplay style, it just gets a little bit tedious. And I think this did break that lull for me. I was like, oh, okay, tune back in.
Yeah,
something
look at
different
this.
is happening.
Yeah. Little cartoon here. Then there's something that's not on this list that I'm looking at, but I don't remember exactly where they've shown it. I was trying to go in order. I'm sorry. Let me see if I can find it.
Is it the Radiohead trailer next?
Yes, that was what I was going to get at. Which I don't know how everybody else felt. I'm a huge Radiohead fan. I heard that like the song, and I was like, oh, okay. You just got Radiohead. What is this? But I forget exactly what it's called. But I think it's Kid Amnesia.
Amnesia, yeah,
something like that. which I guess they described Radiohead partnered with Epic to do some sort of experience for the 20th anniversary of both of the albums. I think it's supposed to be 45 minutes to an hour of an experience, and I don't know anything else. It's as much as I got, but I'm curious what this is. I love Radiohead. I don't know how you both feel, but
I mentioned this a couple days ago in the server. I'm not a music guy. I know absolutely nothing about modern pop music, or I don't even honestly could not tell you what Radiohead is. Could not tell you a single one of their songs. Could not tell you any of the people in it. I don't know what instruments they play. How many? I have no fucking nothing about it. But even though my entire disconnect from that, the idea of a band partnering with a game studio to create an experience is entirely unique. And from that angle, I'd love to give this a try. I don't really care what it is. I'm also into shorter experiential games like that. I don't really care if it's super gameplay focused or it's just an experience, whatever. That's awesome. But that trailer showed nothing of that. I had no idea what was going on. It was doodles on a wall.
You didn't get the hint from the song?
I don't know what the song is.
Okay. Continue.
Yeah. Meant nothing to me. But learning about more of it, short experiential game that is entirely different from anything we've seen before in terms of collaboration, awesome. Very excited about that.
Connor, I do agree. Connor in the chat. I do agree. In Rainbows is one of their better albums too. I agree.
It meant nothing to him.
It did,
and that broke you a little bit inside.
It did. They're one of the more. Here, this might give you a little. Might help you a little bit, Tucker.
Okay.
This is definitely one of the more
educated.
Oh, you're roboting right now. Uh-oh. There you are. You were frozen.
Hello?
You're frozen. Okay. Yeah, this is one of the more creative bands. They're super unique. They're super artistic. Very experimental. I think if you actually gave them a shot, kind of knowing some of your tastes, you might really like them.
Sure.
Sims, Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, it looked like you froze. You were just
he's just staring off into space.
Yeah, it looks like you froze. Okay,
I was recropping you because I realized
no.
You're off. You're not center, and I was like, oh no.
Oh, I'm not center. I'm sorry. Is this better?
I should have just asked you to move. You're fine.
So Radiohead is an awesome band. They constantly put out albums that are amazing. So I would say really check them out. And this experience thing was really cool. I'm very excited for it.
Sounds really expensive.
What does?
This experience.
No, it's probably like they'll probably be
Epic to pay Radiohead.
Oh, honestly, I'm sure Tom York went to Epic about it.
Yeah, I mean, why would Epic pay them? They're the ones doing the effort.
Yeah, Tom York's a weird, cool dude. I think he probably went to them. But yeah. So where are we now? Okay, so now I think this is when what's his name came in. Herman Holst came in, and he was like, the PlayStation block now, the thing that we actually wanted. Yes.
Who hands up?
Yeah, Sims. Yes.
Hands up. Who thought they were going to announce Bluepoint here?
I mean,
I didn't think they'd even be at the show
to do it, but they didn't, so it doesn't really matter.
I didn't think they'd be at the show,
but
I said this when we did our little predictions. Okay. I did not think they would be here. So the first thing that they announced at the PlayStation block by Herman Holst was Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection, which is the Uncharted 4 and what's the Lost Legacy?
Lost Legacy, yeah.
Coming to PS5 and PC, which is very interesting because they still don't have the Uncharted collection on PC. It's weird that they're starting with
the Nathan Drake collection.
The Nathan Drake collection. They don't have the Nathan Drake collection on PC, and they're going to start with this. I find very odd, and hopefully they announce that soon for PC players as well, because I don't want them to jump in with 4. You know, like the series is worth playing. Sims, what did you think about this?
Great for PC players.
Yeah,
As long as people are playing games, I'm quite a happy person. I was like, sweet. I thought that I kind of thought they were just announcing, you can have the PS5 version for these games. A patch will be incoming later, and there's a PC version. Because I was like, I'm like a bit into Lost Legacy at the moment. I'm just chipping away at it slowly, and I was like, oh, sound PS5 version. Nope, they want more money.
Of course. I mean, we've been talking about that for
Bashed.
months now about how much they want more money. But yeah, that's really cool for new players. I mean, these are two amazing games that PC players are now going to get. You know, did you want to say something?
It's for the PC players, and I think the thing that sticks out to me most is that those games are some of the best looking games of last generation. In all honesty, could not tell that they had been remastered for PS5. They looked the same as I remembered them, which of course I'm sure if you did a side by side and there's the ray tracing, the 60 FPS, it obviously will look better. But the games are backwards compatible on PS5. Uncharted 4 is in the PS Plus collection. This thing does mostly nothing for PS5 players, and if you're money for Sony, but if you're into Uncharted, you've probably already played these games. So I would have honestly been more interested for a 5-game series PS5 60 FPS ray tracing PS5 and PC collection. The two of these games are both awesome, and they're some of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah.
But it's not that exciting, and it does nothing for me. Though I'm excited PC players are finally getting a chance to try these games, and I don't remember who I mentioned it to, but I'm going to expect PC ports of these games to be coming out faster and faster and faster. So I think it's awesome, but it does absolutely nothing for me.
Yeah, 100%. And just the fact that more people can play these games is great.
Yeah.
And then next we had, right here the Wolverine, I think,
yes,
correct?
Wolverine, yeah.
Or was it the Gran Turismo?
No, it's Wolverine.
No. Wolverine, Gran Turismo, Spider-Man, God of War.
Gotcha.
Like,
Okay.
blah, blah, blah. Then Marvel splash screen, you're like, Spider-Man. And I was...
Yeah.
Honestly, I was like lying down.
Yeah.
Well, my first response is that, holy shit, how are they announcing another game this soon? They just had one this year and one last year, DLC the year before, and then a game the year before that. So they're on such a roll, and all those games have been amazing. Some of my favorite games of all time. And I'm like, okay, holy crap, they're making another game this soon. And okay, obviously Spider-Man 2 is coming right off the heels. No. Oh no, this isn't Spider-Man. This is something entirely different. I'm like, this is giving me Wolverine vibes of the chink. Oh, that was awesome. But this game isn't coming for a long time.
So yeah, I guess we'll just lump both of these in. We got the Wolverine teaser, and then we also got the Spider-Man 2 teaser coming out in 2023. No particular month or anything, just the year. It's probably, I would say, probably September area. That's usually July to September is where Spider-Man usually likes to sit. I don't think it is crazy that they're making this many games, but I want to say I don't think that it is as crazy as people think it is. I think that they are just ramping up how many people they have, and they're splitting into another team. So that just means honestly, I wouldn't surprise me if in another year or two, probably 2 years, you'll see the North Carolina team show something else, which is the Ratchet team. I think that now that Spider-Man 2 team is what we just saw. We saw a decent cinematic, but no gameplay. And the Miles team, very small teaser. They literally just put out a game. So I think we'll probably see that 2025. Yeah. 2024, maybe. Do you have anything else to say, Sims?
I mean, as long as Insomniac must be the most well-oiled machine in the world. Like, to pump a game out with zero controversy for the team to, I want to say, willingly go, oh, I didn't do any crunch. I'm guessing, the big boss man's not like, you need to put these tweets out. They seem happy enough. I mean, you can see their love and like happiness at work in their product, in their art. Like, you can see that in any art, in any way. Any type of art you can see, and it's kind of like just a cog, just like every day work, they get it out, and then they just move on to the next one. And for them to have and 3 different cogs moving at the same time, like, this is incredible. Like, Insomniac, everything they've done since what?
Ratchet & Clank 2016?
No, not that one. The one before.
And, Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah, like, it's just been smooth sailing for them, hasn't it? Like,
they haven't missed since then.
Exactly, and they must have just got their shit together. And hopefully we can see Sunset Overdrive to the PlayStation soon.
Yeah.
That's what I really want. I'd happily play that.
Honestly, that could be what the North Carolina team does.
True.
It's Sunset Overdrive too.
Yeah. But I think the reason that I'm mostly very surprised and excited by all of this is that I'm so used to the Sony first party teams making amazing games, but making them infrequently, 1 or 2 a generation. The fact that Insomniac has so many teams, as you were saying, but is putting out some of the best games of the console every year, that's what really blows me away. And seeing them introduce another facet to this with Wolverine is just amazing. And your cog analysis is incredibly valid there. But I think so the real stack of this is, holy shit, yes, they're doing Wolverine. Okay, does that push back Spider-Man 2? No. Okay. 2 trailers later, after we rest our eyes a little bit, take a little bit of a nap, but Gran Turismo is here.
Take a little Sunday drive.
Yes. And then slap, boom, Marvel again. Oh crap! They do a nice teaser, and then
now
Peter,
we know
and then
what
Miles,
this
and then
is,
them working together. I can't believe that they're both coming. And that's
I want to ask 2 questions before we move on.
Yes,
to the last 2 announcements. Number 1, I know that this has been asked really this week. Will this game be M for mature? The Wolverine game.
Oh, Wolverine. Yeah.
They have made mature games before. This is not. It wouldn't be something new for them. But it being a Marvel property, they might not. But that really wouldn't do Wolverine justice, probably. I hope he's not just fighting robots. That way they can get through it, and that might be what they do. I mean,
hey, that teaser trailer, there's a whole slaughtered room of people.
He had blood on his knuckles.
He killed those people or beat them up. So I don't think that it will be robots. I do expect it to be significantly more mature, whether that is pushing the T rating or just solidly M. M rating does not impact the sales of games. Plenty of M rated games are in the top charting games of every year. So I think that they will go for M, especially because Marvel Games is expanding so much. We have 4 or 5 projects in the work from Marvel's properties. This will stand out. We've got plenty of T games. The T games are covered. Try something different and do the character justice at the same time.
Definitely. Sims?
I'm not really the Wolverine guy.
Okay.
I've not bought... I can't see them not doing... Because he's got to decapitate some motherfucker, ain't he, with these claws.
I mean...
Do you know what I'm saying?
Could just be a robot.
Yeah,
a robot and just
that poor motherfucker had a knife in his hand. Unsuspected to him. That guy had knives in his hand.
In his hand.
You know what I'm saying?
Inside of his hand.
He flipped it around and was getting ready to stab him.
But yeah, I'm hoping for like that slow, methodical, like Wolverine story game. Like I've not seen Logan, but all I hear is good things.
I was just gonna say in the chat, Chris mentioned Logan, which is very true. But they are in a different place, I think, now with all these games coming out. So we'll see.
I just like what about slow, methodical gameplay, like just Logan, like.
Yeah, I honestly, with this game, I hope that it's not just some open world game.
I don't think
I don't really want to run around another city. Like I kind of want a little bit more Uncharted-esque game.
Yeah, and also that wouldn't really feel too true to Logan as a character. He doesn't do a lot of running around and gaffing and doing side quests. And I want this to be a story-driven sort of Last of Us style.
Maybe he's got a bike or something.
Open areas, but they're corridors, and maybe you can stop off into a shop and pick up whatever. But I don't want it to be focused on exploration because we have enough of those games. Almost all of the Sony first-party studios are putting out games where you do explorations, engage in side quests, third person over the shoulder. Which, of course, I'm sure this will be third person. But I want this to break the mold even a tiny bit. That would be really
you're just doing this all the time. That'd be really funny. And then my second question is, do we think that the Spider-Man 2 will be co-op, or do you think that Miles will be either switchable like a GTA 5, or do you think he'll be more like a character summon, kind of like a Atreus? He's always with you, and you can just kind of like use Miles as like Venom abilities,
No, I think they'll have story arcs, maybe 3 missions each. I think I was gonna say it last week. I think one of them will get taken over by a symbiote.
I mean, it's got to be Peter. They showed the black symbol suit, the white and the black.
Course, but they could switch Hikaru. They could switch Hikaru.
That would be pretty cool. That'd be pretty.
I don't think we've ever seen a symbiote Miles. Yeah, I think that would be interesting.
I think that's what they'll do. I think it's too obvious what they'll do. what
Yeah,
obviously
Peter's.
what
I
they
mean,
can
that
do.
story's been done a lot with Peter having the
Yeah.
symbiote. So that'd be honestly, now that you bring that up, that'd be really cool for Miles to have the symbiote.
I mean, they're already subverting the Venom story by having it's not Eddie Brock in there. It's Harry Osborn as teased by the end thing of the original Spider-Man. So I'm very excited for this game. What really comes down to of making this super excited, although I'm default very excited for it because it's a sequel to two amazing games, is how they change up the gameplay by there being two heroes. They have to both be playable. Miles' moveset in his game is just more interesting than what Peter has because you have more options. They need to give Peter new abilities. I think they need to be switchable. I think switch on the fly between the two of them. There's got to be combo attacks. I don't think it'll be co-op.
Definitely combo attacks. Yeah.
Insomniac doesn't really do that, which is fine. But they need to be both around. They need both be playable, and the stories for both of them need to be equally as engaging. I'm so excited to see them working together and have their personalities bouncing off each other. Of course, the voice actors amazing. The idea of having both Venom and Kraven as main villains in this game is awesome. I think this has a ton of potential, but it has to be something a little bit different in terms of that gameplay and how the two characters work together. Yeah,
definitely. We'll see. Sims, you have something to say?
What's he doing?
I'm just so happy. Like, you don't understand, man. This game means so much. Like, I can't wait. My reaction, like, if I could have recorded, you'd have just been like, "You massive."
You guys need to record your reactions. If you're doing a post this breakdown,
I know
you're already sitting in your chair. Record it.
Me and my partner like to watch it together. Like, it's something we've always done. It's like our relationship. I don't know. Well, Connor and Thingy guy. Like, it's just something that me and my partner have together. It's like, I don't want to take that to a screen. It's like an intimate moment.
Sure.
So an experience. Yeah.
Well, I would just lay there and I was so happy. No man should be shouting at a TV at 20 to 10 at night.
Interesting.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, beautiful. I'm gonna go kiss my kids goodnight because it's quite late over here. So I'll be back in 2 days. You're only gonna talk about Gran Turismo. I will tell you right now, way too long. Brum brum.
Good God.
So the Gran they showed the new trailer for Gran Turismo. It's coming out. We'll talk about this. Me and you could talk about this real quick because I know me and you have been pretty critical of Sony. They constantly will show something and have reveals after the showcase.
Yeah.
If you remember, the trailer did not show the release date. They announced the release date way late, like after the show happened. So the release date is March 4th, which they didn't show in this trailer. Doesn't make any sense.
No sense. Makes no sense. And you can extrapolate that even further back to an amazing conference, but last year's November or September conference, lots of games, but the information for the games was like talked about afterward. Miles was not given a release date in that showcase. It being cross-platform was not in that showcase. They said only PS5. Remember with this game, with Gran Turismo. Yes, no, I know that is an exclusive, but I'm talking retroactively. Very strange that they choose to exclude information about their games that is very pertinent.
They keep doing it. It seems to be a theme. But yeah, what did you think about the trailer?
Oh, I don't care. I don't play racing games.
Yeah.
I like Mario Kart with friends, but even
Mario Kart's amazing.
Just going around in circles does not do it for me. The one that I am excited for is Forza Horizon 5. Giving that a try on Game Pass.
I'll mention that with this. That trailer was awesome.
Yeah.
That's how you show a trailer for a game.
And I just think it seems more interesting to me than Forza, which is simulation, and this trailer was just weird music choices, panning around cars. Like, yeah, we know your game looks good.
We've been doing this for 20 years.
Exactly. It's the exact same thing they've been doing every time. And yeah, I have no connection to Gran Turismo. I've never played any of those games. I'm probably not going to check this out. Also, God, that trailer was so long.
It was a long trailer. It seems like I don't play them, and maybe fans of the series could correct me.
Get something more
but it seems like it is kind of slowing down as a franchise. Fans are not liking it as much. Like, people are liking the more arcadey. They're liking the more arcadey racers, or they're liking just because Forza has both now. Like, they have Motorsport if you really want the Sims, and then they also have Horizon, which is the more arcadey one. So it's like, why would we just not play that? It just seems like it's lost its luster over the years. I don't know what it is about it, but But yeah, I thought it was an okay trailer. We'll see what Sims has to say about it. I think he said it was too long as well.
I think that his thoughts is just, Gran Turismo's here, and they have to have it there, and it does add something to their lineup. It is one of the first big releases in terms of PlayStation 5 exclusives. Of course, we had Demon Souls,
It's not.
Ratchet, and Returnal.
It's not.
It's not exclusive.
That's what I was trying to say before.
Oh!
They announced it. They announced it as exclusive, but it is not. It is.
Oh,
not,
that's right. That's right. They're walking that back.
They're walking it back. It is. They walked
That's
that
pretty
back.
frustrating.
They kind of walked the God of War back.
Yep.
Like they do not have another exclusive like only PS5 release for a while. They're doing the thing the Xbox is doing that people hated Xbox for doing for some reason. Now they're just doing it. But yeah, it is coming to PS4 as well. There is a PS4 release.
Let's just start talking about God of War.
Yes,
He'll be back in a bit.
God
He
of
can
War.
chip in.
Yeah, he can come back. God of War. So we finally got the name. It is God of War Ragnarok.
Exactly what we thought.
Even
Though Corey was a little bit weird about that after the game's like, oh, well, maybe it's not called Ragnarok, but it is.
To be fair, the teaser, it just said Ragnarok is coming. It didn't say like this is the name. Like that teaser really didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we actually got a name for it. We saw a more teen Atreus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We saw furred up Kratos. We saw a bunch of new characters. Everything is freezing over. Ragnarok is here. The lake is frozen. So now we get a new sled with dogs, which was pretty
awesome.
cool. Pretty cool. We're being chased by Freya, apparently. Yeah. She like turned into a bird and then like sorted his shield, which I thought was pretty awesome. What did you think about the trailer?
Everything about this is awesome. I can't remember anything. I don't remember any specifics about it because, as you were saying earlier, there wasn't any hype moments like, holy shit, yes, this is super different, can't wait for it. I can't wait for it because it's a sequel to one of my favorite games of all time, and it looks amazing. The graphics are phenomenal, continuing the story, which is really interesting, introducing new characters, changing up the gameplay in certain ways, like the map exploration being different because the lake is frozen over. All of that is super exciting. I can't wait to see the game come out, but it is exactly what we expected. Nothing in there was crazy. Which is fine, but you're right. No pop moments. I remember sitting there at that press conference last year and watching the God of War Omega logo be formed and losing my mind like, holy crap, I can't wait for a sequel to this. But while this trailer was definitely good, it didn't continue my extreme hype.
Yeah, I think we needed like a Kratos and Thor to clash. Like,
sure, yeah,
just do something and then make that could be the pop because like Thor is supposed to be a pop, right? Like it again with the weird. Like this game had it worse than any other game, right? This had the weird. We're gonna talk way more about this game completely after the showcase. We're gonna show all of these characters, give you the name of characters that you saw in the trailer, but you don't know who they are. Like the other little girl, the other merchant looking dude. They were talking about voice actors. Like they barely talked about any of that in here. Then they showed. Did they show Thor other than his like Mjolnir? Exactly.
Yeah, it was like his back. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they showed Thor like after with like a screenshot. Like, I don't understand what Sony's really doing. Really, I don't. Sims, what did you think?
I think it was great. Just what we want. I think it's what we wanted to see. What's going to happen next? Where all the questions. I think all the questions were answered. Really, like, is Freya going to be still pissed off? And spoilers, she's mega pissed off. Like that scene where she just comes out of the air from being a bird and slicing through his shield. I popped so hard. I was like, she's still pissed. And I was like, yes. Yeah. I disagree. I think the trailer was absolutely incredible and everything I wanted. It was more of a right. There's new characters. Atreus being older and older and more angry and more frustrated.
More angry.
And Kratos just being more frustrated with him, you need to understand.
Honestly, he was being even more timid too. Like he was saying even less, right? Like I don't know.
It was just an introduction to the story and to the characters, and I think that's all we needed. To be honest, I think the gameplay was always going to be quite similar. I think they've added some new mechanics with the grappling hook, and I'm guessing we'll get a new weapon type somewhere down the line.
Maybe
probably take over Atreus.
Give me Mjolnir.
That would be exciting.
Yeah.
I think the other interesting thing that we finally saw is an enemy variety, which is one of the only complaints that I have with that original game. Is you fight like 7 kinds of enemies, maybe excluding bosses.
Fight a lot
but
of those giants.
Yeah, there's plenty of enemy variety in this, and obviously continuing on the trajectory of how amazing the first one was. This is obviously a Game of the Year contender next year. And it is next year, and this is what they're going to be leading up to. So. God, oh my God, next year's gonna be crazy. Oh my God, holy moly!
I mean, even Chris says, frankly, they could release it tomorrow. They could say it's out tomorrow without showing anything, and he would buy it definitely. And yeah, I completely agree. The game was phenomenal, and all they had to do is slap number 2 on, and it could be the same type of. That is pretty much the same, really. Like, I mean, what's his name? The talking head.
Mimir, yeah.
Like him being in it, I was like, brilliant. That's all I need. Yes. Like, and the boat, and you're going to get more of the stories. And
Brock and Sindri are back.
Brock and Sindri,
we finally getting Tyr, which is very exciting.
I'm so overly hyped for this game. I'd like to play a game of predict the month that it releases.
Sure.
It's going to come out in April or May.
Wow. No way in hell. This is a winter game next year.
No, they don't put out games in the
winter. Winter aesthetic in the winter time.
They don't put out games in the winter. They love to overstack their games, even within a month. They do it all the time. This game's going to come out in like April or May.
You wait and see.
Okay. Just a little friendly wager.
What's the month? Give me a month.
I said okay. I'll give you April, and let me pull this up real quick. April.
Chris, you can get in on this, and Connor.
I'm gonna say I'm being a Tuesday, so I'm gonna say April 12th.
I don't care enough to go look up what days of the week are on, but I'm going mid-September.
Okay. 2 more things before we move on.
I want to do my date, Div.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry. I didn't know you. I thought you were just asking.
June. I want to say June 7th.
June 7th. Okay.
All right. Nice spread here.
Ratchet came out.
Someone write this down. Remind us next year.
100%.
Yeah. We'll see.
Two more things before we move on to a couple other little stories we have. Different director. Corey is not working on it. It is somebody else. Corey is working on a new IP,
which is exciting.
That's exciting.
That's awesome. Really exciting to see what Corey's going to do. And then the other one is this is the end of the Norse era of God of War. So they said it's a duology. When we kind of maybe thought it was going to be a trilogy, it is not going to be a trilogy. This will be the end of the Norse games.
So does that mean end of God of War series entirely, or does that mean
no?
What does that mean?
Just the end.
Probably not.
I mean, we don't know, but this was just the end of Kratos' journey with these other gods. Probably. Yeah.
That's fine by me. Having 2 great games is awesome. If they don't feel the need to stretch it to a trilogy, that's fine by me. I think God of War can take another break with 2 amazing games under its belt and come back in another format. Another 10 years down the road.
It could be an FPS at that point. No, I'm just kidding.
Why not? Kratos with a gun.
Yeah,
Kratos with a gun. Let's see it. But I'm fine with it being a duology. I know I'm sure some people will be a little bit disappointed, but there's so many awesome games coming out, and Santa Monica is such an interesting team. I want to see them try something else.
Yeah, definitely.
Chris and Connor agree on November.
Okay, all right. They're on my team.
Not our Connor. It's a different.
No, yeah, sure, no, but I don't care. They're still on my team. Hey guys, you and me, we'll beat these guys up.
What's that cool? The cool
take them down.
Liddy.
No, do not say that. Any final thoughts on the showcase?
Solid.
We talked about it enough.
Okay, good. So we got a couple little stories here. We got a couple of delays I want to mention. Battlefield 2042. I think it's delayed a couple of weeks. I forget the original release date, but now it will now be releasing November 19th. And they said there'd be an open beta within this next month. So probably in October, probably mid-October, we'll get a beta for that. Kind of sucks, but they're probably working out some kinks with the servers, I would assume.
Yeah, it's not a big enough delay for it to be super impactful.
It's still coming out this year.
Yeah, whatever.
But more impactful delay, kinda, is Dying Light 2 Stay Human will now be releasing February 4th of next year, which is a worse release date.
Yep.
They were already releasing basically on top of Halo Infinite. I think it was the 7th and 8th. Infinite was the 8th. Now it's basically kicking off the spring, which hopefully it works out for them. But
well, technically it's not, because Pokemon Legends Arceus is January.
And so is Elden Ring.
Yeah, so it's actually not. But that game is, I mean, I don't know a lot of people who are talking about it fervently, as opposed to everything around it, which is Horizon and Pokemon and Elden Ring, which are going to be some of the biggest games of the year. That game's getting sent out to die, unfortunately. I think it's got the same problem as Titanfall 2 when that came out, is people are just going to be focusing on other stuff.
I'm going to say, like, I agree, but I don't. Because I think that game has a bigger fan base than you realize it does.
That's it's certainly possible.
Because that first game was being supported for a long time. They did not give up on that game. They released a huge DLC and they constantly releasing updates. I think this is going to get the same thing, which it also released early. I think the first one released in January, so I think they like to do that. Sims, you have anything to say?
I was going to say I completely agree with Daniel. I think the people who want the game are going to buy this game, and they are going to be returning fans. It had a really cool following. Like, I remember Natalie played it. I don't think she's that bothered about number 2, but the people that this game is for the people that want this game, and there is a diehard following for hardcore zombie killing. I don't know. I was always Dead Island, because it was Dead Island, but didn't take itself seriously. It just, you could pick up any old daft weapon. I'd happily play Dead Island today. Like, I really enjoy that game. Bugs aside, but it was just so daft and goofy and just a fun thing. And then this came out, and it was all like parkour and dark, and they chase you at night, and I was just like, ugh, I don't want to be chased at night. I just want to, like,
it's scary.
I just want to have a good, I don't know, it was just such a different aesthetic, so I couldn't get into it. I think I dropped it at one point and then tried to pick it up again, and the zombies were chasing me, and it was scary.
There's those really big, freaky ones that come out at night.
I mean,
like hunt you down. Yeah,
I love zombies. Like, I'm a big zombie fan, but this wasn't no Walking Dead game. Like that one with Arrow.
Yeah, you remember the one where you play as the Dixon brothers?
So good.
That really bad one.
So
See,
good.
of course you say
Such
it's good.
It was so good.
That game got awful reviews.
So good.
All right.
Just remember that Daniel likes Fallen Order, so we can already discount his opinion.
Fucking nerd, man.
Okay.
The
The next story here is we finally have Bluetooth pairing for your audio output devices for your Switch. Which it does. What is Nintendo doing? Yeah, those little adapters. What are they doing that this was just a software update?
Yep. That's the craziest thing about this. This could have been done from day one. They just had to. I don't know how coding works. I don't know how hardware works. I don't know.
Does Nintendo know how that works? Thing. It doesn't seem like they do either. So you're just in the same boat as they are. Nintendo is the. People praise Nintendo so much, and they deserve it. But oh boy, we need to be way more critical of this company. I swear, I really do. I think.
But whatever, it's there. They're updating the Switch finally.
It's good. You can actually have Bluetooth headphones now with it.
It is a good thing that this happened.
It is.
It is.
I should say
we can certainly be critical of the scenario surrounding it, but it did happen, and it is a positive feature for the Nintendo Switch. And just Nintendo, don't walk this back with future systems. Don't just learn from your mistakes, please. Yeah. For the love of God,
please fix your online. Please fix that.
Yeah.
And then the last news story. 343 announced they're going to do another technical test on, what was the exact date? September 24th. I think you could still sign up, I think. I'm not too sure if that has ended. I think
the deadline's gone. I think the deadline was
Did that end already?
You know when we were talking about it on Sunday evening?
Yeah.
I think that was the last day.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I thought you were aware of it. I was listening to...
I didn't end up getting it.
As I heard about it through the Xcast on that Sunday, I was cooking my Yorkshire puddings.
But yeah, so the technical test, I think it's going to have a couple more maps this time, and I think they're going to show off the Big Team Battle game mode, which is going to be awesome. you'd probably get a lot more PvP because there wasn't a ton of PvP with that first one. So
Are you
there
signed up,
actually be
Daniel?
more. I didn't sign up. No, I missed that.
I'm surprised. I thought you'd be there day one.
Yeah, I'm kind of. I mean, I'm gonna be playing the game, so I'll just kind of wait. But yeah, so that's all the news for this week. Let's get into what we've been playing. What have we been playing? Who wants to go first?
Can I start with something entirely random that no one else is going to
Yes.
be talking about this week?
Yes,
Oh
please.
man, I've been playing a lot of weird stuff the last few days. Am I glitching a bit? Am I?
No, you're
back?
good.
No,
Okay.
no.
No, you're
All right.
good. You're good.
I have the weirdest investment in my video games is sometimes I will take like a month off from really playing games at all. And it helps me get back into it and get really charged up for playing games again and back in that mode of trying a bunch of stuff and playing some games and being interested in talking about games and all that. When I got back into game, it was through WarioWare, which I played last week.
Okay.
A lot of fun. Did a review of that. I think it's a pretty good game.
Give me the short.
Yeah, I mean, it was my first WarioWare game, and I had a ton of fun with it. Before that, I had no idea why micro games would be fun, but sitting there playing it with my roommate because this game is co-op, and
That sounds like
playing
a
through all the
great
levels and just learning all the characters and loving the aesthetic, and it's definitely a really solid title. It is slightly budget for Nintendo. It's only $50 at launch.
That's really good for
but-
Nintendo.
Yeah. But I do recommend it. Maybe not at that price point because the campaign is only like 3.5 hours long. And the side modes are kind of lacking. There is no online co-op, which sucks. But it's definitely a good game and a solid WarioWare entry. We haven't gotten a new one for a long time, so finally it's back and it's a good game and definitely a solid addition to Nintendo's 2021 lineup.
Awesome.
But then I hopped into something entirely different, which is Famicom Detective Club: The Missing Heir on Nintendo Switch.
Okay. You playing both of them or just
no,
is this the first one?
I'm don't tell Nintendo this, but I'm game sharing with my friend Abram, so he bought it. He only has one of them. So I just played that one, and it's pretty bad actually. It's just a visual novel, but with the obscene, weird game design of a Famicom game, where you have to just click random things to hope something happens, and it's just really obtuse and obnoxious. And the story's fine.
I would just say go play Danganronpa.
But there are much better modern visual novels to go play. It's interesting that this game got released and remade and translated into English for the first time.
It visually looks pretty cool in the trailer.
The visuals are good. The music is great. The characters are fine. There's voice acting in Japanese. But I don't recommend it because it's just go play Phoenix Wright. Just go play Danganronpa. Just go play any of these other more modern games. I can't recommend the Famicom Detective Club at all, to be honest. But I've got more stuff to talk about, but I want to throw it off to one of you guys so I don't ramble for too long.
No, keep going.
It's fine. You go, man.
Okay. What about Sushi Striker: The Way of Sushido on Nintendo
I saw that. What is this game?
This is a weird one that is sort of a like Z-tier new Nintendo IP that was released in 2018.
Z-tier. Oh,
because this game was outsold by Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze's port in its own launch week. This game sold like 20,000 copies total across 2 platforms. There's something ridiculously low like that. No one gives a flying shit about this game, but honestly, it's pretty dang fun. It's really unique. It's got fully animated cutscenes, with a crazy, ridiculous, over-the-top story about war and sushi and just dumb anime characters. And you're swiping on the screen and collecting little Pokemon-like characters. And
is it like a Fruit Ninja type of thing? Is that what you're doing?
No. So you connect. It's 3 rows of you're doing battle with other characters. You have 3 rows of sushi plates that are going back and forth like this, and you connect plates that are the same color, collect them up in a stack, and throw them at your opponent. And there's all sorts of combos, and your little sushi sprites have special abilities that build up meters. And I've been having a great time with it. It's actually been taking time away from me playing Deathloop.
Go play Deathloop.
I need to go play Deathloop, and I'm enjoying Deathloop, and we'll talk about that. But I'm sitting in bed, I'm just playing Sushi Striker. I'm like, okay, one more game. And I played for like 3 hours straight one night. And
sitting in bed,
it's touchscreen. You can play it with a controller, but it uses the Switch's touchscreen. It's also released on 3DS. But I've been having a great time with it. It is low budget in some ways. There's really poorly rendered 3D backgrounds, and some of the art is actually pretty bad. but I think it's overlooked. And
How much is this game?
It's $50.
Oh my god!
Which it should not be. This is a $20
that sounded like a dollar game to me.
Yes,
I was hoping you would.
It is
say
not
that.
worth that price. But again, I'm actually getting it off my friend's account, so I didn't pay anything for it. So the price doesn't factor into my enjoyment. But I do not recommend it for that full price. But if you can find a copy of this online physically for $10, and it is certainly worth $10.
That's awesome.
So I actually do recommend it at that lower price.
Okay,
I have a great time with it.
Anything else you've been playing?
Okay, you want me to keep going? Okay,
as much as you want to go. As much as you want.
I played Toem. We got a review code early, and I platinumed the game in one night. I was the 4th person on the planet to have the platinum. One slot above Greg Miller himself. I actually got a platinum.
Yeah, suck it, Greg.
Yeah,
Greg.
But I think that game is awesome, and it comes out tomorrow, and you guys need to try it. It's short, it's cheap, it's just lovely. Amazing music, wonderful visual styling, doesn't overstay its welcome. Lots of fun characters and little moments. Totally manageable platinum. I highly, highly recommend it for what it is.
I bought it on your recommendation.
You did? Okay,
I did. I bought it on Switch.
Hear your thoughts.
I have it downloaded.
Yeah.
It'll be after Death. You know what? Maybe how long you think this will take? Because maybe I'll beat it tonight and just play Deathloop this weekend.
I platinumed it in 4 hours. So, and meaning the story is 2.5 hours.
Okay. Maybe that's my tonight game. Maybe I'll play that tonight. Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
James, any thoughts on that? I don't know if you're familiar with this game, but
is this the Porty game?
Yes, the game that Portillo is in. Correct.
I've been keeping an eye on this game for a while. It's something I'm very interested in, but it's such a busy time of the year. I just want to jump in there quick. So a nice gentleman, Lagoon Side, right? He just commented. He goes, "It's made my evening." Actually, he goes, "I commented a year ago about the mics needing to be better. Quality is much better, and I'm glad you're still doing what you love." I just want to say, appreciate it. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for checking us out.
Thank you.
Yeah. We've all, I think we've all committed to it. I think Daniel's bought mics. Connor's gone from mobile phone. We're all doing one, man. But thank you very much. Appreciate it. Oh man, I'm all warm and tingly inside.
Anything else you've been playing, Tucker?
You go, man.
You and I talked a little bit about this, but I played The Artful Escape right on the back of Toem and Famicom Detective Club. I played The Artful Escape on Game Pass, and I think it's a really cool game. I've got some issues with it. I don't think it's as I think it's kind of overhyped, to be honest. But it's on Game Pass. It's not very long. It's got a absolutely wonderful, unique style and a great story and good voice acting.
Music.
Yeah, so I definitely recommend it. But,
the voice cast.
Issues with it.
The voice cast, the actors that they've gotten is pretty awesome. They got Carl Weathers plays the main character. Lena Headey, she plays like a smaller character. You got Jason Schwartzman, which is awesome. When I met Jason Schwartzman, I knew exactly who he was. I thought that was so funny. And then they also have Mark Strong, but he played a little more subdued. Mark Strong, but I really liked his character as well. I really liked the game. I don't think I'm as down on it as you. I'm not as high, I think, as other people are as well. But I did really enjoy my experience. I think it is more of an experience. It is not necessarily a game. Like there are gamey parts. Like you're doing a little light platforming. There is a
light platforming.
Yeah, you're just kind of moving, but you have to jump.
and then 10 times in the game.
There are the boss fights. You do a game of Simon Says. You just kind of follow what they tell you to hit, and you hit it, and that's pretty much it. I really like the art direction of the game. I think that's really what shines for it is the visuals that they have. I don't know. I didn't really have any issues with it stuttering or anything. Did you have any actual technical issues?
I did, yes. In the last area of the game, which is sort of this purple and blue jungle, there was just apparently too much stuff in the background. And my PS5, not my PS5, sorry. I have an Xbox One X.
So you're playing last gen. Okay,
yes, and that
could be why.
Yeah, but on the Xbox One X, it should be able to handle this game in terms of its scale. But and I was getting some really weird slowdown. And I think. Did I have it crash once? I can't quite remember, but the technical problems were relatively negligible because it was 15 minutes out of my 4-hour experience or whatever. But I do recommend the game. It being on Game Pass is certainly a bonus. It's definitely very unique. I'm very into shorter experiential games like that. I just have a couple nitpicks with it, but go try The Artful Escape.
Yeah, especially if you have Game Pass. This is
Yes.
I think it's probably worth the asking price of $20.
Yeah.
Like it is
I
just
agree.
kind of a slight, like maybe slightly more than a movie experience, and I think it's worth that, right?
Yeah, and I think the other thing about it being exclusive on Xbox is exciting because it just shows that Xbox is very much broadening the horizons with the scope and style of games that they're sharing and having on Game Pass is awesome. And that excites me because I have never been interested in Xbox because I felt like they always did very similar things and didn't experiment very often. And everything's sort of on the same level of scale and style. But this and Psychonauts and
I mean,
12
towards the
minutes.
end, I would say towards the end of last gen, they started experimenting more.
Yeah,
And to now, they definitely are. I mean, this isn't the first game this year that they've propped up like this. Like, I think Death's
Yeah.
Door, it was
Yes,
really
that
the
too.
first one, and then they did 12 minutes, right? Like, they are definitely propping up a lot of indie games.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you've been playing?
That's it for me. I want to pass it on to one of you guys.
All right, I'll let Sims. Let's have Sims go.
I just want to jump on the odds. I haven't played really anything, so
Okay.
I just want to say, like, I've not really had an opinion on it, but it's something I'm willing to put. Give an hour and then see if the other hours want to take me with it, because it looks. I don't know if it's for me, but I want to know if it is for me.
Sure.
Unfortunately, I just don't have Games Pass at the moment. I know it's not a lot of money, but I don't see the point. We don't need it right now. And it's just, money, Christmas. I've got my daughter's birthday next month. She's getting a certain thing that may or may not. I have to be careful because she's downstairs. Sometimes watches it. I know she's in bed, but I don't know if she's listening. And she's 9, and she has ears.
Don't say too much.
But no, I'm getting a certain thing with a certain thing. So hopefully play next month. And then get ready for Halo. What have I played? So, Tucker, you're way too young to remember a game called RuneScape.
I know of RuneScape. I never played it. But
Not that young. It's he is
it's
not
the
that young.
bit. It's the bit. I don't care.
Okay. I love to say it, but
Old school RuneScape. So
Yeah.
I was
Wait, why are we talking about RuneScape?
because he's been playing. He's addicted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's addicted to
I'm
it.
all in. Well, I was. So basically, I've been in rehab. I'm feeling much better.
Are you good?
I've I played for like 2 weeks solid. I had an account. I've gone back to it. The game's great. Like, it's just
Great.
yeah, it is. Like, as much as like you can sit there and go, oh, yeah, it's just shit. It is got a massive community. There's so many people to play it. Don't get me wrong. The worst community in the world. Everybody is toxic as fuck. Like, you go into forums and everyone is a dickhead. Everybody. I've met one nice person. And it's just like, it's such a shame. And there was a big controversy about this, a plugin for a third-party app that Jagex, the creators of RuneScape, have okayed, and this plugin basically made the game into HD. Anyway, so long story short, it's out now after some controversy. The game looks great, but I've burnt out at this point. I will go back one day. It's great on the mobile, great on the PC. I realised I think I sat down watching our girl Emma Raducanu. Shout out.
Who is it?
The tennis player, the young lady that's
Oh,
achieved more
okay.
than all three of
Yeah.
us combined.
Hey, you don't know my life.
Did you win 2.5 million on playing tennis on Saturday night?
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that, but yeah.
Shout out though. But no, I was playing
Just
it.
my mind.
I was sat there playing it. I was like, I don't have time to play this, and I don't want to do the PvP, and I don't want to do the raids, and I don't want to do the bosses. I kind of just like all last week. I left because obviously it runs on the phone. I was just grinding my attack and defense and and I was just like, I was enjoying the numbers go up. Like playing a game at home, like at work, just tapping the button every 10 minutes and just watch myself. And it was just kind of like, what's it called? That was the scientific like wording for watching numbers go higher, and you just get excited.
You get a little bit of dopamine in that gameplay loop.
But I just don't have time to play it. I'm in a good place. I've enjoyed my time. So yeah, I've stopped playing it for a bit.
Okay.
I don't
happens.
miss it. I don't miss it. I'm a bit upset that Connor's not here today. So Connor hit me up Monday night, and he really shocked me. Like, it kind of like it got me.
Don't tell me he's playing.
No.
Okay.
So he hit me up on Monday night. He's like, "Hey, I know you," because I keep saying like I can't play these games at the end of the year. Like I can't afford to, because obviously it's October, it's my daughter's birthday. November, December, the big man comes down the chimney, and unfortunately he doesn't pay. He doesn't pay for these presents. You know what I'm saying?
He eats your food and then
yeah, exactly.
he leaves. Yeah,
and it leaves me in debt. So I just can't afford to like buy all the next games. So he texts me, do you wanna like I'll share my games with you? And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, if I want you to be able to talk about these games with us. So yeah, give me we share it for a bit. I just want to say
awesome.
Yeah, like I didn't want to say yes, but no, yeah,
But
it means a lot. Yeah, I was like be a fool not to say yes.
Yeah,
so
of course.
I started Deathloop.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't yet to.
Took me a while. I only played like an hour last night. My
Mm-hmm.
daughters have just started joining like these clubs, and it's such hard work. You got to drive them there. Apparently they can't walk back. Apparently they're too young.
Probably.
So yeah, I started playing it last night, and I instantly felt like I was back in an arcane Dishonored world. I was just like, oh yes, like there's a certain kind of jank to it that I just love, and I was like,
a certain feel.
Oh my god, like
Yeah,
just so good, and obviously in Dishonored, the main protagonist didn't really speak that much.
Yeah.
And having Colt kind of talk, and I was like,
talk to himself a lot. Yeah.
Great, and that's what I do. I can relate. I was like, I talk to myself.
Speaking of, I want to mention something real quick. Do you remember what in the very first trailer, Colt was supposed to be voiced by Dave Fennoy, and then they replaced him in the second trailer?
Why?
I don't know. I guess it fell out. He didn't have time. But yeah, he was
this,
originally
like Xbox Bethesda deal, and he just kicked off.
No, he might be busy because he does a lot of games. So, but yeah, continue though.
Yeah, just to cut a long story short, like it was just I played an hour. I think I'm just about to go and get my first slab. I think I've just gone into that. What's it called? The second. There's like a new area. You do one area.
Yeah.
I don't want to ruin it, but yeah, I just felt I had a weird issue though where like my game froze but didn't freeze. It kind of I was stuck, and then I kind of like clicked the home button on the PlayStation, and I came back, and then it kind of continued, and then it happened again, and I was like, is it just hard frozen? And then it kind of just went normal, and I was like, okay.
The PS5 has strange issues and very inconsistent issues. People had problems with Returnal. People had problems with Ratchet. I had problems with Miles when that came out. And now people are having problems with Deathloop. So it's something on Sony's end. I wouldn't worry too much about your console in specific, but
yeah. No, sorry, Connor just texted me. Connor just said in the chat. Yeah, I want to say.
He says clap. I'm clapping for him.
Okay.
I also want to
Platinum True Colors.
Yeah, congratulations, Connor, man. Appreciate it. I hope your leg's okay. Well, the one leg that you have.
Yeah, so sad.
Crazy, my amputated foot turned into a tucker. We miss you, Connor. Connor, I just told you that you've the nice gesture you did. So I want you to watch it back, and I want you to cry, and I want you to film your reaction. Thanks. Yeah, definitely. I want to play it, but I'm talking to you guys, and I'm not happy about it.
Okay, we'll continue then. Is there anything else you've been playing?
No. Like I've come to a realization that like maybe I can't play. I've been watching Atlanta.
Oh, shout out Donald Glover, one of my favorite artists.
Tucker, Atlanta.
Love him.
Anything? No. Forget it.
He has no idea what you're talking about.
No, I don't know what Atlanta is.
A weird Dave-like TV show. Like he's great, amazing. Just don't.
It's a Donald Glover TV show. Do you know
Written
who
by
Donald Glover is?
Yes, I do know who Donald Glover is. Yes.
Okay.
Star of Spider-Man: Homecoming, as everyone knows.
Oh my god.
I didn't even know he was in it. He's in it for like 1 minute, isn't he?
Yeah, this is.
Yeah.
That's the joke. That's the joke.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
I knew that.
So
Daniel, what
I
have you
have a
been
couple
playing?
more games. Yeah. I've been continuing Destiny 2, the addiction. Sloan, I got him addicted again. I guess he's been just
I
dragging.
get
He wants to
shit
play
for
it all the
playing
time.
fucking old school RuneScape, and this douchebag here is playing fucking Destiny 2.
RuneScape's what, 20 years old, 15
And
years old.
still the
Destiny
greatest
2.
game of all time.
Okay. So we beat the the other expansion, the Beyond Light expansion. So now we're kind of just doing some other quests because there are some other seasons that they had. So we're doing some of the seasonal quests, trying to get our light level up. But yeah, I'm still playing that. Not a ton else to say. I liked Beyond Light. They introduced the new subclass. It's like a icy stasis-y subclass. It's pretty cool. But yeah, Destiny 2 is just great. It plays better than almost any game that just comes out. Like Bungie just knows how to make a game feel good. I think more people need to feel like Destiny does in terms of FPSs. I don't think enough feel like that. Destiny and Bungie.
I played Destiny for a week last year, and from a first-person shooter I don't like first-person shooters. It felt great, amazing. Like, imagine having a hot knife running through butter. That's the feeling you get. That's the greatest. It's the greatest first-person shooter experience I had, and unfortunately I was just put off by. We are Destiny, and we have all this to do, and I'm like,
yeah, there's a lot to do. Like we're Destiny veterans, the two of us, and like we played so much, especially the original. And when we jumped in, we're like, all right, we got to do Shadowkeep, and then we just kind of like trying to do the main expansions.
Can you explain to me, like, so you and Sloan, you're in your separate bedrooms. Do you leave the
He's
door
in the
open
living room right now.
and just shout through?
We put headset on. Which is kind of funny because sometimes it's a little delayed. Like I'll hear him in the living room and then I'll hear him in the headphones. But we do it that way because it's a little easier. But yeah, so playing that, and then I also beat Life is Strange: True Colors. I did not get all the achievements. I don't really care.
Because you're a loser.
No, because
I mean, you have your own preferences. Sorry. You're not really a loser.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I beat that game. It's so funny. It's the latest I've stayed up in a long time because I played like 3 episodes last night. Man, it's just I just love the tone and vibe of the Life is Strange series. It just really clicks with me. I really love Alex as a character. I think she's great. You really get to know a lot of the people around this town. Her powers, they were fine. The powers really haven't been as involved since the first game of the series, where I don't know if you guys have played them, but in the first game you actually rewind time with Max, and this game you kind of do them, but it's just not as involved, which isn't that big of a deal, but it's visually stunning. I want to say that. It looks amazing. I think it is one of the best games this year. And if you like narrative games, I think it is really good. The performances are awesome.
Where are you playing it? How much does it cost? All that information. I mean, I don't know too much about the game, to be honest.
So normally Life is Strange games they tend to have been budgeter games. Like about $25, 20 to 25 has been the price, but they are going full price for this game. It is $60, which I still think it's worth it, but yes.
So do you think they've gone full budget because you get the whole game as one big chunk?
Well, no, because you could buy the season for $25 for Life is Strange 2.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the engine is better.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think that they are just trying to up the level. If you look at this game compared to even any of the other 3 games, like this game is just stunning. I think that all the animations are just better. Like they're just I think they're trying to take it another notch up.
They're trying to present it as one of the AAA titles that they're
more of a
putting
premium.
out.
I mean,
exactly.
I'd still say it. I'd still say it's a AA title. It is not. It does not
Sure.
have the budget of a AAA game, but
Of course.
it is awesome. I think it is worth playing if you like narrative games, and you don't really even need to play any of the other 3 games. Like there's only like one connection to any of the other games, and that is there's a side character named Steph. She is in the prequel game Before the Storm.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, like every character is new. This is a new story, so you could just jump in and play it.
This does seem like a game that will probably, at least is my headcanon, it'll drop in price pretty quickly. So I think during a holiday sale, $30 or something seems like kind of the right area for me to want to pick this up. I played the original Life is Strange, I think, through PS Plus. A couple years ago, I played, I think, a chapter or 2. I did not understand that the story was broken up into chapters that were released at different points. That did not make sense to me whenever I played it initially, but I like that this is released all as one.
It still has the breaks, so you could just one a night or whatever you want.
How long are each episode?
I think the first one is slightly the longest, I think, but generally this is not as long as 2. I think me and Connor kind of talked about that last week. 2 is a little bit on the longer side. They were closer to like 3 hours an episode. I think this is closer to, depending on how much you look around, I'd say closer to 2 hours an episode. So about 10 to 12 hours.
Hours total? Okay.
Yeah. So not too bad. There's only 5 episodes. So I played 3 in one night. So I just was like, I need to beat this game. And the way it's structured too, it's episode 1, pretty linear. You're kind of getting an introduction coming to this town, and then you get to episode like 2, 3, and 4. It's definitely more expansive. You can explore the town a little more, and then do the main stuff you want to do. And then the final episode's also pretty linear, but I think it works how they did it. But I'd say check it out. It's one of my favorite games this year.
Good,
yeah. And I think that's all I've been playing. Yes.
Do you like the all at once?
Yeah.
Like with the Tell Me Why, wasn't that weekly?
It was weekly.
I like that. I mean, I'm not taking away from the all at once, which is great. Different strokes for different folks, right? That's the word, isn't it? That's what we say. Right?
Yeah.
Sweet, awesome. I learn, and I talk about video games. Like, this is a great combination. I don't know. I kind of enjoyed the weekly thing, like the Tell Me Why thing. I was like, something to look forward to. Look,
it's like a movie a week, right?
Yeah, like a TV series. I like a TV series. Yeah. Unlike Tucker, doesn't like TV. Breaking Bad, mate. You seen it?
No.
Oh, but
I might have watched like half the first season or something. I don't remember.
To be fair, the first season's the hardest bit to get through. It took me about 6 weeks to watch that first season.
Only like 6 episodes.
Yeah, no. But I was really forced into that. But and I was like, I don't really
That's how small my attention span is.
The pilot for that is one of the best pilots in TV history. So I don't know what you're talking about.
I disagree.
He probably
You're insane.
He makes some drug. I don't know.
Okay, buddy. Okay. Anybody else have any other games they want to talk about? No? All right.
No.
So let's move on to the game this week. All right, boys. We're going to do the Museum of Great Games this week. Haven't done it in a while. It's been, I think, a couple months since we did it. And I will tell you the rules again. We're each going to bring a game. Only one gets in. We each have as much time as you want. Don't take up too much time. By yourself, just to tell anything about the game you want. Kind of make your case for why it should be in the museum. And then we'll have a little discussion after you're done with that. And then we'll move on to everyone. And then we'll make a vote. And you cannot vote for your game.
Yeah.
And whatever game gets, I guess, 2 votes goes in.
Makes sense, yeah.
Yep.
That tracks.
And yeah, I think that tracks. And I think that's all the rules. Any questions, Tucker?
Seems pretty simple.
You are the first.
Fine.
You're the first guest. I usually save this for when we have the 3 of us in here, but you have the potential to get a game into the museum that's not one of us.
God, I'll take that chance. I think I've got a pretty good contender. I don't quite know how you guys feel about this game.
Okay.
But if I should I just go? Should I just start?
I'll start.
Okay. Then hand it off to you.
Yeah, I'll start first. So No
Oh
talking.
God.
No talking for both of you. Shut up. Zip. I'm just kidding. So my game that I'm bringing into the debate for the museum is the game was released in, what was the exact date? April 20th, 2018. Developed by Sony Santa Monica. Published by PlayStation. Is God of War 2018.
Oh my God.
Never.
I never heard of it. I think that this game is pretty close to perfect. I think it has its issues. But man, this is how you redefine a series. And I think that this has rewritten the playbook and how you do it. So many people have tried. So many people have tried the reboot. Even within PlayStation, they have tried. And it just took a creative director like Cory Barlog to really sit down and have a vision and commit as much as he can to his vision for this game. And boy, did it pay off. And if you've seen the amazing documentary, Raising Kratos, I think it was called.
This was called.
This game had turmoil, and there was a lot behind the scenes. It was stressful. It almost didn't come out like it was supposed to. A lot of the developers didn't know what this game was even going to look like until they saw that trailer, which was insane to even think about. Speaking of trailer, has one of my favorite game reveals of all time, with the amazing orchestra at E3.
Yeah.
They played the opening theme, and then they showed off Kratos for the first time. This game is just top to bottom, music, graphics, gameplay, amazing. I think it's a little too long, would be one of my critiques. A little repetitive enemies is another critique, but I think this game is just a gem and one of the greats. And that's it. That's my argument.
That's your pitch? Okay.
That's
God,
my pitch.
that is a pitch to end all pitches. Not because. Oh God, I love that game so much.
Now let's kind of have a little discussion about it. We can kind of question me about it, see what we think. I think that Kratos as a character has always kind of sucked. He's always been kind of a nothing, kind of just who you are. He's just a tool to get to the next god. But they definitely showed that if you take your time with a character, that gave him way more nuance. That made you actually feel something for this character that you probably have never felt anything for. Yeah.
Now, here's my first question, because I was trying to think of the games, things that I have flaws with. It is one of my favorite games of all time, so you get a bump there.
Me too. Me too.
Wanting to vote for it. But how do you feel about the villains of this game? Because thinking back, I don't even know if I remember them at all.
You have Baldur.
Yeah.
And then you have Thor's sons.
Yeah.
Then you have the giants that you meet a lot.
Yeah.
And then don't forget the really awesome dragon that you see.
My problem is not with the boss fights, but as characters, the villains are not particularly memorable.
I like Baldur.
Compared to Mimir and Brock and Sindri and Freya and Atreus and Kratos, the villains are pretty weak. There's not one.
It is about the journey.
Yeah, but I do feel like having more pressure could have actually made it a darker.
Would you have liked to have seen Baldur more?
I do think better development on a villain character could have added a lot to that game. And it's not obviously a big enough issue for me to consider the game in any lower regard. But the fact that I don't remember the villain of one of my favorite games of all time is a pretty solid issue.
Mm-hmm. I think if Baldur was there more, I think it could have helped him for sure. But I mean, I really like Baldur. I don't think he needed to be necessarily more of a character. He was really a stepping stone for the journey.
Sure.
I think that this game was more about the journey than anything. I don't think it needed more.
And then, of course, what we talked about earlier, and I think this game's pretty most obvious flaw is lack of enemy variety. Mm-hmm. This game is severely lacking in enemy variety, and I even tried to get one of my friends to play this, and he just was like, "Man, I'm fighting the same enemies over and over again. I don't really feel any pressure or momentum."
It's only really between the different realms that you really kind of get slight differences with looks and stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
But at that point, they're reskins. They use pretty much the same moves. They have slightly different health bars, slightly different visual style, but not enough to feel like, oh wow, this area is super unique. This area is challenging me significantly more because you can get really used to their patterns. And some of those enemies, like the gooey zombie-ish humanoid guys, those aren't
Draugrs
to fight. Yeah, those are.
I think
boring.
the biggest change up they introduce is the fire mechanic of the blades. I think having to use that against frost enemies, I think, was probably the biggest change up, where they made you use a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Sims,
but these are really my only complaints with the game.
I take the game different. The game's one of my favorite games for different reasons. Like, I think it's just it boils down to the relationship between Atreus and Kratos. But everything else I definitely agree with. But like for me, the standout, it was the three main protagonists of like Mimir, Atreus, and Thingy, and their dynamic. And then especially like as being a father, I've said it thousands and thousands of times. Like just hearing Atreus getting a bit brave and mouthing off, and Kratos just like, who the fuck are you talking to? Like, and I was just like, I can relate, because like, you know, when you just like your kid just starts getting a bit brave, and you're like,
yeah, sure, of course, we can relate to that. Yeah,
you know, I'm just like, ooh, I've got bald head. I'm like, all I need is one thing down my face, but yeah, it's the game phenomenal. Like I played it with the PlayStation headphones. I first got, it's like my birthday, so I got the headphones, and the music hit me, and then like. Even like I've got my tech sound is the axe, like the sound effects of the game. Like it's just incredible from start to finish. Every character I remember, playing it with the special edition God of War controller, like, and then obviously I always forget the name, Sindri and
Rock and Sindri, yeah.
And obviously knowing at the end of it, the controller meant something at the end of the game. I was like, oh shit, they made this shit. They made this controller. Right.
I don't know what you mean by that, but I'm sure
the
it makes sense in
got
context.
The symbols on the controller.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah, great choice. It's gonna be hard to beat it. I want Tucker to go next.
Okay. Oh, he's scared. I wonder what game he brought. If he's scared. Go ahead,
I'm bringing a game that is unendingly important, and I think deserves almost more so than any other video game to be considered the greatest of all time. From every possible category, this game knocks everything else out of the park. Released, let me get the release date here. There's a lot of information on this Wikipedia page. Whatever. It was released in 2011 and has since been released on every platform known to man. We're, of course, talking about Minecraft. Now, this might sound like Sims is touching his eyes.
No, because I'm not going to talk.
All right. We're supposed to not talk during the other people's things, if you remember. We can talk about this game from a lot of different angles. We can talk about the fact that it is the best-selling video game of all time, and I think that gives it some credit in terms of its popularity, obviously. Outselling Tetris is an absolutely ludicrous feat, especially considering Tetris is counted with every version of Tetris under that one banner, but Minecraft has one version. And not only does it have one version, it has one version that has been updated for over a decade. And they consistently update it. Two versions? You mean Bedrock and Java?
There's the Pocket Edition.
Yeah, but
it's a different
and now Pocket Edition has been updated to pretty much be the exact same. Of course, that was a different game initially, but if you consider how much time and effort has been put into the developers, always interacting with the community, always listening to what they want, updating it for free every year, communicating constantly, always introducing new things, and always keeping it fresh. For a decade, this game has never died in its popularity. It continues to sell incredibly well, and I think from everything inside of the game is tremendous. The gameplay systems and progressions have become iconic, influential, copied in every genre. The visual style is instantly recognizable in a way that brings retro graphics, lower fidelity graphics to a new level and modernizes them in an interesting way. And of course, this game has phenomenal multiplayer. You can play it however you want in multiplayer. You can create servers with thousands of people always interacting. You can play online, you can do co-op, you can do PvP, whatever you want. This game meets your needs in terms of multiplayer, and it meets your needs in single player in terms of customization. You can obviously build whatever you want, and there's mods anywhere you want. You can make the game look with any way you want, with texture packs and ray tracing, visual style, whatever you need. This game matches every bar, and the gameplay is obviously phenomenal. It's got great music. C418 soundtrack is iconic, beautiful stuff, and I think this is clearly the best video game of all time, and I will stand by that. And that's the end of my pitch. I'm here for questions. Fire away.
Number one, it's not the greatest video game of all time. That's Tetris. And I don't disagree. I think it I don't know if it's better than God of War, but I definitely think it deserves to be in the museum.
Yes.
I think that it has very few flaws as a game. I think maybe having more story stuff to do as a single player game, I think could help that game a lot, because some people don't play games with other people. They might just want to play by themselves, and then Minecraft, I guess, wouldn't be for them. Oh, thank you, Connor. The other Connor in the chat. Thank you. He's with me with Tetris. See, me and him agree. I really love Minecraft. I've been watching Achievement Hunter play Minecraft every week for about 10 years now.
Wow.
So, yeah, way before you were born, I was watching Minecraft.
Yeah.
I think I agree visually. It is very unique, but I don't know if it's like perfect. I think it definitely it is just what it is, you know? Like they did what they could do with the voxels. It's just 1 square by 1 square, you know? Like it's all it needs.
I think the greatest part about that is it makes it incredibly modular. And of course, with the idea of adding texture packs and what's it called? The thing that gives you ray tracing stuff. There's all sorts of options to make the game look better, and you can customize it to be
ray tracing.
Yeah, the ray tracing demo that they put out, insane.
Yeah, I've got downloaded mods that give you volumetric lighting and all sorts of stuff. And the game, when that happens, looks like any modern game. It's just in cubes, and those cubes give it a very unique style. Other games that try to do building in the environments, you think about like Ark Survival Evolved or I don't play a lot of other games like that, but they always feel a little bit janky. They're going for a realistic style. It doesn't fit into the environment. You don't really fit. But because everything is so modular with the blocks, that makes it instantly visually unique, but very understandable. You can always understand exactly what everything is supposed to be, and it's very consistent visually. There's nothing that stands out in terms of weird. The animals fit right into their environments, and I think it's beautiful in its own way. It combining modern visuals and 3D environments, and obviously open world random generation with something that reminds you of nostalgic pixel art. I do think the visuals aren't the best thing ever, but for what it does and the modularity of it and how you can alter it if you so please, I don't think it could be done better.
Interesting. Sims, what do you got to say? You've been quiet.
I'm just listening. I take this game differently. I played this game when it first came to, like, I think it was a big deal coming on Microsoft on the Xbox 2000.
Yeah, it was 360. Yeah. I think it was 2011.
Yeah,
right?
Sounds about
something
right.
like that.
Yeah, definitely.
When it first released, because one of my good friends, he played the PC only version. And he had like it was like he got a early price for it when it was coming out, like 2009, I think it was, when they were making it. Continue.
Yeah, the game is, for me, like my kids play it. My 5-year-old plays it. She's like, Dad, go play Minecraft. And like we got our own little world, and she's so creative. She wants to make like we made this big pink skyscraper, and it's a school, and she's like. She knows how to like set the desks out, and she can build her own little house. And this is a little progress. Like she started playing it on her own a couple of months ago, and now she's at the point where she can do your basic house. She knows how to like navigate the creative box where you search where you want.
Crafting table.
Put some doors.
The creative menu.
because he's
Sure,
always
yeah,
just
yeah.
there. Like, you put your doors in, and she'll like, Dad, come up here, and me and Mum will come upstairs, and she's like, this is my house, and she'll have just. It's just cute, like, to see, and then my other daughter's on the other end of the spectrum. She's like, "Oh, I'm playing PvP mode with my friends," and it's just like
one of the first battle royale modes when Hunger Games came out. It was way before a lot of the other stuff.
And I think that's also something that gives Minecraft a huge boost. Is I'm talking about the modularity, we're talking about the customizability, but you can play other games in Minecraft. If someone makes it, you can create mods that obviously add new items. You can design servers to have all sorts of different gameplay styles and all the gameplay systems you want to mine, you want to build, you want to craft, you want to do PvP, you want to program with redstone. There's so much variety.
People have made the things people have made.
Exactly. It just takes it to another level of creativity and customizability, where I think the fact that it lacks a story is not necessarily a problem, because the story is what you want Minecraft to be on any level. Every other game, not every other game, of course, a lot of other big famous games do story really well. And I think it's kind of refreshing to have one that doesn't necessarily require that you create your own story with your friends. This is the world that you're generating and building on your own, and you have such a deep connection to it from that way. And I can remember dozens of servers and houses and relationships and friends and videos that I made and watched, and community building and all of that is funneled to a perfect degree in Minecraft. And it's been doing that for a decade with consistent free updates that are always making the game better.
Won't stop. It will continue.
Oh, the Cliffs and Caves updates can be so cool. It's going to completely change how you play the game.
It won't stop. It won't stop.
Yeah, it's great.
All right, Sims. What's your game?
I don't know.
I don't know. Pick a game.
I'm trying.
Oh, come on.
I'm on Metacritic. I want to say, so all right, this is cheap. I've never finished this game. But it'll always hold a place in my heart. I was a young boy, and I had a little GameCube. I have a lot. Phil time.
What are you doing?
I want to know what you.
What are you doing?
You did like the date. You did the date. You did the date, didn't you? You did the date.
Well, I do it all the time. You both never do it. I'm the one that does that.
Wow,
Tucker followed me.
That was so late.
I tried to find it. But...
Listen, 13th of December 2002. Zelda: The Wind Waker. Now, in 2002, I was a wee little boy, and I don't know why this game always. I'm the guy that every time Nintendo Direct comes out, I just want the Zelda Wind Waker. I just want the port from the Wii U. You don't even have to do anything to it. Just let me have it, because I just had that sense of freedom for the first time ever in a video game. For me personally, of just getting on that boat and just sailing, and you could go for 3-4 minutes at a time without seeing anything, and then you have to guess how the wind works, and you just go. And then the art style of the game, I'd never seen anything like that at this point, and it was just phenomenal. I don't have the best memory of it, but it was just something that I want to maybe Daniel could fill in the blanks, because I think maybe he's got more of a memory for it. And Tucker, you were still in the womb, so.
I've never played Wind Waker, actually.
So yeah, I haven't got much to say about it, but it's just the one game that I'd like to just say, this game just did things different. 2002 on a little GameCube, and I remember having such a good time with it, and it was so beautiful and so bright. And for some daft reason, I never finished it, and I don't know why, but I got very far. I think I just got stuck. And at 2002, all I cared about was wrestling. And I just got a small memory. I've just got a small attention span. So, yeah, for a game in 2002 to come out and look like that and play like that, and for some reason, it's now 2021, and this game came out in 2002. So I probably had it maybe beginning of 2003, and for it to stick in my memory, I've never gone back to this game. Remember, never. I want this game more than anything else. If this is the one game, if it says coming to Switch,
it'll come to Switch.
If it doesn't come to Switch, I'm going to Nintendo, and I'm going to take my Bluetooth headphones.
Do it yourself.
I'm gonna do it
Yeah,
myself.
Thanos glove. Fine, I'll do it myself.
It's just
you walk
something I
into
always
Nintendo,
wanted.
crack your knuckles, and just program the Switch port of Wind Waker by yourself.
Copy, paste, done.
Exactly. Press the print button.
Control C. Yeah, so I haven't got much to say. I want to bring a wrestling game, but I don't want to bore you. But Wind Waker is something that I don't know.
Bring it next time.
I've never gone back to it since then. So many years, and I've never forgot it. And that just says something to me. Like this game made an impact on you. So, little Cartoon Link. I'm Cartoon Link all the way. And then when they did like Link's Awakening, and it wasn't the same kind of art style, but I kind of that's what drew me into playing that game. I was like, oh, I'm nearly there. I was like little naive Steve, or them 3 years ago. Was it 2 years ago when it came out?
2020.
And I was
19,
little Steve in 2019 was like, yeah, Wind Waker will come out next year. Can't wait.
You lied to your face.
Okay.
Every time you lied to
every Nintendo Direct, I just get to the point where I don't do it with many of the press conferences. Like I get myself so worked up that I'm getting Wind Waker. Like I'm convinced. Like every person on Twitter is right. Oh yeah, Wind Waker will come today. And
don't listen to these people.
Honestly, I get so upset. I get so upset. I got angry the first time, like the first one at the beginning of the year, the big one.
Yeah, where Skyward Sword came out. I remember you were looking forward to it. Yeah.
Upset.
All right, my question. We're gonna get into the questioning part. Is we don't have a Zelda in the museum. We will get one. I will bring one. Why should this be the first Zelda?
Because for 2002, for the game to be that, I mean, it wasn't that open, obviously, but I think it was that the first ever sailing mechanic we ever seen, like really, in on a console. Like what game? What game were you sailing around on? Like, please tell me I'm wrong.
For 3D, yes. I mean, there was a lot of weird NES top-down type of boat games.
But this was obviously you could. I think it did it must have done like a circular motion, because I just remember as you can see in the horizon, things, and then there was little islands that you could jump on and dig, go and get the treasure off that little island, or maybe there was a fairy fountain, and then you had a telescope. I don't know, for something that's on a little epoxy GameCube. Did that and it was so bright, literally so bright on a CRT TV, bursting with flavor. It was just great. I mean, Ocarina of Time, yes, it's the best, and I mean, I've got halfway through it so many times. Daniel finished it this year. Congratulations. Yeah, man, I should have done it. I've still got my save. I just lost. I'm not interest. I don't know. Things just come in the way. The thing is, there's always a dead zone in there, and you pick a game up, and you're like, oh, and then all of a sudden the dead zone ends, and you're like, oh ship, I've got to go play that.
Yeah, then new stuff comes out. Yeah. Happens all the time. Tucker, do you have any questions?
No, I think I'm just mostly curious what you were asking, Sims. Why this game? Aside, I don't know if sailing is a big enough benefit to games history.
The problem
to outdo
this isn't just
the Wild,
history.
Ocarina of Time, Link to the Past, all these games.
Problem is, I can't remember except for the sailing and how beautiful.
Okay,
it looks.
Interesting.
Ocarina of Time, I could sit here and say, look, I played half of it, and I still would go and play that half again every single time, and fall off and then play it again because it was just that memorable. And I remember the Deku Tree, the Deku Tree.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't know if Wind Waker's always my favorite. I like that art style. That art style is my favorite. So for me, this is the game I want. For me, this is the best.
I'm very
Zelda.
excited for that port because I want to play it. That and Twilight Princess.
To happen. Yeah,
I want to play both of them. All right, we're gonna go to the voting phase. And this is always weird how we want to do it, because if we do one at a time, it could kind of sway people. Do we want to do a countdown or something? How do we want to do that?
Type in chat 3, 2, 1 countdown. Send your vote in chat.
Or maybe we could do numbers. I was 1.
Oh, sure.
You were 2, and he was 3.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that? Okay. You cannot vote for your own game.
Of course.
I'll do a little countdown if you want. Daniel was one. Tucker was 2. Sims was 3.
Yep.
Everybody ready?
Same as you gave a vote.
He's thinking.
Uh-oh.
Are you ready?
Cog's turning.
Can I do it the countdown? All right, 3, 2, 1.
Wait, is he frozen?
No, I just wanted you to say that. I thought we were typing it in chat.
What are you doing?
I thought we were typing it in chat.
No. I said. I am 1. He is 2. You were 3.
I had 2 ideas in my head.
We're doing fingers. I'm gonna do it again. 3, 2, 1. Okay.
All right.
That it goes to Tucker. Minecraft.
No, it's a good
I
choice.
did it.
Minecraft
Nerdic God's history.
This is history. This is history. Tucker with Minecraft gets.
Put that on the
Minecraft
Nerdic God's wiki.
the Nerdic God. It is. It will be in the wiki.
How much does that cost us money?
I don't know how wikis work.
Yikes. We got to kick him out now. Kick him out. No. Minecraft. Yeah, I think you brought a great game, Tucker. I think eventually I probably, out of the 3 of us, would have been the one to bring it here. But
Sure.
I'm glad that you're here to help bring it in because I don't know if they would have voted for it. I might have been able to convince Sims, but I think Minecraft is a deserving game. Do you have any final words to say, Tucker? This is your game.
I mean,
any final words?
If I was to close it off with something, one thing I didn't mention is how much personally this game means to me. It most certainly is my favorite game of all time, and then obviously that does influence my opinion. But the amount of personal impact that Minecraft has done on my life is unmatched with anything else in video games. I have made most of my friends through Minecraft. Us playing on servers together, hanging out, talking about Minecraft, following the updates. It was what got me into YouTube and talking about gaming. I have 10, 12-year-old videos of myself doing Minecraft tutorials. It was the first thing that I tried to do with content creation. And I've never stopped playing it. I have been able to introduce so many people to it and meet so many people through it, and it always is a constant in my life. And I'm so glad that it is the best-selling game of all time and my favorite game of all time, and a game that I'm able to put on a level like this because I think it automatically deserves it. It is on such another level of popularity and influence and customizability and gameplay and iconic status. I think it's one of the best games of all time, bar none.
And with that, they owe me some money. Mojang, you owe me a check. So you're in the museum. To get into the museum, you got to pay a little, So
Nerdic Gods,
like the Oscars,
84 actually, I think will give a huge boost to Minecraft sales.
100%. And with that has been the Nerdic Gods podcast, episode 84. Please subscribe to Tucker Backlog Banter on YouTube.
That'd be nice. That'd be sweet of you.
That would be nice.
Please do that. Comment on the episode. Share it with your friends and your grandma. You can't forget to share it with your grandma.
Oh shit, we don't say that anymore. What happened to
We don't say that no more. That's because you gotta let me host. Because Connor's gonna forget everything. He's too old. And that's it. Bye everybody.
Tetris is probably the worst game of all time.